never die. Video games, movies, sports on the line. Your favorites carved in stone divine. It's all about your top four, nothing more. Rushmore Show kicking down the door. Ranking the icons, the greats we adore. It's all about your top four, nothing more.
This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Andy, what are you doing?
My favorite pastime hobby, reading a coloring book.
Oh, Andy, what happened? What happened to your face?
All I had for a book was a coloring book. That's funny. That's what happens when you only have kids in your house.
What happened to your face?
I am the new host of the Rushmore Show, also named Andy, not to be confused with the old Andy.
We're just gonna have to call you like Lil Drew or something.
Yeah. So funny enough, my wife actually says it makes me look older, but I don't think that's the case at all. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know if I don't know what she means by that, but either way, the beard is gone. If you don't follow my personal page, you probably wouldn't understand, but I'm raising up money to go to Argentina for a mission trip this November. It's $2,500 for the whole trip. And I decided this year that I'm going to do some kind of funny challenges along the way. Once I get to certain levels, we're going to unlock new levels and stuff. And this was the $500 challenge, which is crazy because I just did this Monday and I'm already over $1,000. So
Andy, look, it worked. It worked.
Hey, we finally got Nightbot to work for us and not be a bully. Although right after says, "Come on, bro." No, so this is all to raise money for a mission trip. Look, if you guys, for the 11 people already in here, if you want to be a part of helping me get to Argentina, helping us plant a church out there, helping us go do that, you can look on our YouTube page. We've got ways that you can help that way. Or if you're the praying kind,
there are some amazing videos of you doing some funny stuff, and you just hit your next level, so a new video should be dropping soon, not just on our channel, but All In for Argentina on Facebook. You can go help him in there, and you can go to all of our socials, which are scrolling down at the bottom. You guys should, if you are friends of the channel, make sure you go down and hang out at some of those places down below. It's where we share all of our life, really. And you can, these are even our Instagrams right here in our little title. So if you really wanted to find us, but here's the deal, man. We are starting a new series today, and I've been told that we're going to break the record today. We got 16 in the chat. 41 is the record. That's crazy to me. Thank you to all of these people that have visited us. Robert Pop Springs, Patrick Little, Dog Bird.
Look at that. Look what Robert just said. I'm here with my new and only granddaughter, baby Elizabeth. She is 2 weeks and 2 days old. Officially the youngest member of the Summit Squad.
Baby Elizabeth. Baby Elizabeth.
You can't see color or distinguish that we're talking to you, but welcome to the Summit Squad.
The makeup tutorial was great. Toops is in the house. Guys, here are a couple things. If you're a member, which we had Dark Link on here, and he gave out a ton of George level memberships, right? If you're a member, you have some cool emojis to use as we're doing this journey. So there's like a top 4 one and a couple others. And if you stay members with us, you will get some really cool trophies. Being a member here is really easy. It's not expensive. But there's 2 things that I would like to shout out. If you're already a Link member, you can ask us to go back and revisit a show. Now, Andy's done a couple revisits before. We'll go back and do a Rushmore Revisited. And there are some of those that we feel like we need to edit. Like one of the ones I need to edit is the peanut butter one, Andy. I know that, we did that one way early on. But there's a couple things I missed that I've remembered over the few years. Also, if you are a George level member, you will have a actual promo video at our halftime. And we have 2 promo videos to show coming up soon. That's Dark Link and Bryce, who is on the show today. And that's our guy. So we're gonna share some of those as we travel through this journey. If you're new to the channel, I want to send this to you. Thanks for being here. If you've come because you saw us on socials, if you've come because of our guests, no matter how you got here, you're now a part of the Summit Squad. Welcome to the channel. Here you go. That important because, well, here's the deal. Our members or our friends, this community is called the Summit Squad. It's got all kinds of people in it. People that love cats, love dogs. We've got Dog Bert in the house. We've got guys that love video games, movies, TV, and just like Jesus, some people don't even know Jesus. And here's the deal. You're all welcome. You're all welcome to hang out with us. If you're cool with us, we're cool with you. Welcome to the Summit Squad. Now, what that means is while we go through this, leave your top 4 in the comments. That means we're going to do our top 4 childhood video games today. We are starting a new series. It's nostalgia. So everything over the next 2 months and some change will be nostalgia driven. It will be all about things that we did as a kid, movies, TV, food, all that stuff. And here's the deal. As you're traveling this back in time with us, drop your top 4 in the chat. A couple other things. Number 1, tomorrow there will be a vote on who won our thing today, and it's going to be on Instagram. It used to be on YouTube. We just haven't done that, and for whatever reason, but we go to Instagram, which is going to roll up below us pretty soon. We just hit 1,500 friends over on Instagram, which is awesome. Thank you guys that are hanging out over there. Go and vote. Don't just hit the heart. Vote. Vote who has the best. And did you see who won this week?
Not me.
Not you?
I think
it was our guest.
I think Matt won.
I think it was Matt. And I'll check it in a little bit. But I think Matt won. Dusty Flotilla. I think he won. And with that being said, the other thing you can do is sometime during the week, drop a comment in this chat. Not that chat, not the one that's scrolling, but come back and visit and tell us what your worst childhood video games were of all time. The worst.
There's a great answer to that. By the way, just a quick shout out
down the week.
Just a quick shout out. Our buddy who may hop in here later. He's live streaming currently. Fat Boys Gaming and Nonsense.
He was here. He was here.
He here. Oh, okay. Well, he is. He was streaming earlier some horrible games too. So go check out that stream from before. Yeah, there he is. He was streaming some horrible games like a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen board game video game thing. That was it was crazy. What was the name of that game?
In the chat, before you leave, if you've enjoyed it, which I hope you have, hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, and obviously hit the subscribe, join us for more shows. And if you hit the bell, we go live every single Thursday, unless we have life going on. And in 2 weeks, life is happening. So we're going to miss 2 weeks Thursday, not next Thursday, but the next one. But we're going to make it up to you by having a special twofer. We're going to have one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. So hit the bell so you don't miss those. I heard of Shaq Fu's fun game. Shaq Fu it's not a great game. It's a fun game because you're playing.
Let's distinguish. It doesn't mean it's good.
That game's like overclocked. Like that, he's like really moving fast, way fast, like almost like Street Fighter Turbo. But anyways, let's get down to business. Jamie is in the house. Jamie is a friend of our guest, a really close friend. Kirk, who is this guy?
I like that. I like those picks.
Hammy, we've got to get you on the schedule. I've got you down, Hammy, for sports. Got to get you on the schedule. Pick me a Thursday in October that you want to be on, and we'll get you on because that's the one you told me. You said sports. So we'll get you on Thursday in October. So let's get this thing started. 22 people in the chat. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, imposter, but he kind of sounds like Andy, but he don't look the same. Let's do it. Sounds good. Hey, yeah, just pick a Thursday in October. So, Andy, let's get this show on the road. We've got people on vacation. We've got to get them back to their vacation really quickly. So, here we go. Top 4 childhood video games of all time. Andy, this one's hard. I can't wait to hear the criteria. Childhood video games of all time. Don't go nowhere. All right, Andy, we're getting down to business. So, top 4 childhood video
You don't
games
watch The
of all
Office. You don't watch The Office, but you look like Date Mike from yeah.
It
Michael
looks
Scott's
like
dating version.
That was one of our first intros.
If anybody in the chat, if you watch The Office, do you guys know Date Mike from The Office? When he puts that hat backwards. Hello, me. Nice to meet me. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, let's get into tonight's list.
Let's introduce our guests. Hey, Retromaniac, hello. Mopar, hello. Berry, hello. All our friends, hello. Now let's tell I call them banana peppers. Okay. Call them banana peppers. Am I missing something?
That's from the pepper challenge that I did.
Oh,
and we started with banana peppers.
You. Yeah. Because I saw that he said banana peppers shouldn't even be in this. Yeah, I saw that.
It lulled us into a false sense of security.
So here we go. Yeah, smash that like, please, fat boy. Here's the deal. We are going to go through childhood video games of all time and what your favorites are and what our favorites are and what our guests are. So let's get our guests out here. First guy, this is his second time on the show. The first time he was on the show, we had the highest viewing ever for a live. Welcome to the show, our good buddy, Bryce J.W., Mr. Geometry Dash, Mr. Retro, Mr. South Carolina Picker, Mr. Everything, the friend of the conventions. He's everywhere, man. This guy is amazing. Welcome, Bryce. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, man. I'm happy to be here. It's an honor.
Hold on. Let's get our other guy out here. He's on vacation, and we had to pull him off the roller coaster to get him here. So let's get our other good buddy out. We've talked about our conventions a lot, and we bring on some friends from the conventions. This is no different. We're bringing on Yellow Rose Retro, a gaming booth that is almost at every convention we go to in the Louisiana area. Welcome to the show, Kris Reed from Yellow Rose.
Hello. I just gotta say, I've got a lightning lane here in 3.5 hours, so let's make this happen, right?
You got a lightning lane. He's hanging out with the mouse, and as you can see, if you guys know anything, he's at the Polynesian. See, I can tell that. Yeah, there you go.
We got Stitch back here. Yeah, we got Stitch right here in the background.
Great backdrop. For all you Mickey fans out there, which I love Mickey, that's awesome. So, hey, Bryce, Montrarius is in the house. Bryce, thanks for being here, Montrarius, and everybody that is here. So let's get down to business. That is a Mulan quote that Andy loves because he loves Mulan as a war movie. So, Bryce, tell us all about Bryce JW, the Anime Armada, the South Carolina Picker. Tell us all about your channel and why people would have a good time hanging out with you. What do you do on your channel? And just kind of share a little bit about you.
Okay, so first of all, I'm Bryce JW, or also known as Bryce Wells. That's my real name, but I shortened it to Bryce JW on YouTube. I do a lot of Geometry Dash. I do a lot of picking, like the Arkansas picker, and I was inspired by him. So I made a South Carolina picker kind of spin-off parody thing, and just did that through YouTube and Instagram and stuff. And I'm on Instagram and YouTube. Those are my two main platforms. I do a lot of Geometry Dash, retro gaming, Nintendo. Just like to be with people, chat in the chat and talk to people. I'm going to be at Southeast Game Exchange. I'm going to be a special guest there, which is an honor, and I'm really excited. And I'm just an all around avid gamer. huge gamer, and I just like to be. I love people. I want to love people. Word at my church, and I love people. So I'm an avid gamer and a man of faith. So
Amen. Awesome, Bryce. You are a member of the family here, so we always love having you on, following you around, and seeing everything you got going on. Love all the interviews and stuff that's been coming out lately, and just really cool stuff that you've been putting out there. But man, such an honor to have you on the show too. So, Kris, it's your first time. We've hung out for a while at some of these cons and stuff, and we've been working on getting this together. And I'm so glad we finally got you on the show. Kris, let us know all about Yellow Rose and just everything you got going on, man. Yeah, PCG's in the house too.
Yeah, so Yellow Rose, we're a company. My wife and I co-own it. We do conventions and things like that, primarily in video games. And again, we just created it. Obviously, it is a business, but we created it to kind of share our love, my wife and I, with things that we loved when we grew up. Me being an avid gamer, obviously video games were there. She does more of the Pokemon and TCG. So it's just a way we can kind of share, again, what we loved, not only with ourselves, but with our kids. So we do about 19 conventions every year. We love talking to people, getting to know the community, guys like yourselves. We just enjoy it. So happy to be here.
Yeah,
19 conventions. It's a dream of mine and a nightmare of Andy's to do 19 conventions a year.
It's work. It's work for sure.
Yeah, I would love to do that. My wife would get a little crazy about it, but man, let's Yellow Rose in the house. R is shouting you out. R, welcome to the Summit Squad. Thank you for being here. So this is how this thing rolls, guys. Bryce, you're gonna go first, then Kris, then I am third this month. Well, this series, and Andy, you have the bookmark. You get to take a nap for a few minutes. No, stay with us. We're gonna talk
napping because I've got Village Coffee.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Village Coffee too. The complete coffee for the Rushmore Show. So Andy, we're going to talk childhood video games.
Yeah.
So Bryce, since you're up first, you got to kind of give us your criteria. So Bryce, you are the youngest on the panel today, 31-ish, and so since you're in your 30s, you were born in the 90s. So your childhood is a little later in the cycle of video games than ours is. So yours will probably not be the same, which is good because we're about 5 years apart, each of us. And so we should give a good little span of time around the video game universe here. So tell us what you were thinking when you put your list together before you tell us your first one. And then you're going to start us off with number 4.
Oh, okay. My criteria was that how much I played the game of my choosing in the list, how much I played my childhood game, and just like as a kid, just like playing it a bunch, depending on how long I spent, and also how much I remember it and how much I loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Easy enough. But
that's easy enough,
what the world wants to know right now, Bryce, JW, you get the honor leading us off. First at bat, what you got for your Rosie of childhood games?
Sonic 2.
Woo! That is coming in
Sonic
hot.
2. That is a banger. And tell us about why Sonic 2, Bryce.
Well, Sonic 2, I remember playing hours and with my brother, and because it had multiplayer, you could play as Tails, the other person could play as Tails, and you could play as Sonic, and it was just a fun game to play. You could just spend hours on it. It was just a cool platformer. It was different than Mario, and for people who have the Sega Genesis, it was the staple. I really feel it was a huge staple in my childhood and in a lot of people's childhoods. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I think you can't go wrong with this one. I see that, well, not necessarily that it's Sonic 2, but Kurt's shirt, he's rocking some Sonic going on right there.
Yeah, that's Louisiana Retro's shirt. We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But yeah, this is probably more like Sonic 20.
Also,
go ahead,
Kurt, real quick, can we Can we pray real quick for my friend Chuck? He currently had his appendix burst and his colon is damaged. So I didn't want to forget that. So
Yeah, so let me address this real quick. Kirk is basically Moses, judging solely on looks. And Barry thinks I need to let his people go. But yeah, I'm getting ripped on now that you look younger than me. When you've always looked younger than me. So that's okay. We'll pray for your facial hair. But let's pray for Chuck. So Bryce messaged us in the chat. Excuse me. And he said he's got a guy at church who is having some issues, appendix, colon, some other stuff, and that he had some friends that might be early on in the chat, and we wanted to pray before they got off. And so if they're out there lurking, thanks for being here. And obviously this is for you, Chuck, if you're listening, and all his friends and family that may be listening. But Lord, we just thank you for an amazing community that allows us to speak over people's lives, to speak into people's lives, and to help just usher in your son, Jesus. And Lord, we pray that you'll be the divine physician, that you can, just as you blew air into us, into the dust, and gave us life, that you can put back together this insides and the things that are different and changing in Chuck. And then, Lord, that you can make it an example for all around to see, to come to know you, and to get miraculously healed and to forever be changed in Jesus' name. Now, we believe in the power of prayer, Andy, because our best friend, one of our goodies, encephalitis at church got healed. And still, it's been about 2 months now? And
Yeah,
it's better
about a month and a half, yeah.
Better than ever. It can happen, just over prayer. And we're praying for you, Chuck, and everybody out there. So, Sonic 2. I'm shocked. It's kind of weird to go from prayer to Sonic 2, but hey, that's just how the Rushmore Show is. Hey, I'm shocked that you went Sonic 2 because Sonic 2 is a Genesis, which is one of the original, not the original, but one of those Generation 1s. If you go back, right? It's what kind of started it all, aside from Atari and old computers. But the first consoles, if you will, that we recognized was Genesis, and you went all the way back. So your list might be overlapping a little bit with us. I'm not a Genesis guy. I love the Genesis now, but I wasn't then. I never owned one. I didn't have one, and I'm sure anytime now Kevin is going to pop in over here. When Kevin and I were friends as a kid, Kevin gave me a little thing that would copy games, and that was the only way I got to play them. So before downloading them on like a RetroPie or something, we had them on like floppy disks. That's the only way I got to play them back in the day. I didn't have one. But Sonic 2 is widely, we did Genesis not long ago, is widely considered one of the best games in the Genesis library. So hats off to you, Bryce, and that's a great pick.
Yeah,
thank you.
So Chris, I'm sure you sold a lot of Sonic 2 in your life.
Absolutely sold it, and I was a Genesis guy actually. So I went straight from NES to Sega Genesis. That's actually what got me into my Sega fandom. So I'm right there with you. That's a really good pick on the Sonic. But going to my I guess what I use as my methodology to pick. I guess being a little bit older than 31. Obviously, I had the pleasure of going through multiple generations, right? I started playing with an Atari 2600, which was a hand-me-down, but being able to experience that all the way through the generations that we have today really made this super difficult to come up with just 4. So I'd say, there wasn't much of a methodology. I scientifically broke this down as much as I could, but really what I landed on was just kind of take, hey, what are my favorite genres, or what were they as a child? And so I did kind of a best of the best there. So I'm going to start my very first one. And, when I think of nostalgia, I think of, high school years, having sleepovers, your friends coming over Saturday night. First person shooter, it was kind of a big one, right? Multiplayer action. I'm going with GoldenEye right out of the gate. For my next group.
gosh.
Yeah. Just because, like I said, it was. If you think about it, as far as first person shooters goes, it was actually almost kind of a pioneer, right? Things, the death match and things like that. It really kind of changed the shape of first person shooters from what you had previously with Wolfenstein and Doom. So I mean, GoldenEye it really kind of changed that genre for me at least.
Wow. We are just like, I mean, back-to-back homers, like top of the inning. Like, we are just, this game is just started.
We're coming out swinging. What can I say?
Listen, GoldenEye 007.
So
Kirk,
it's been
tell them about how great you are at this game.
Kirk is horrible at first person shooter, and I spend most of my time doing this number here, and I'm like, go that way, shoot that way. These kids with this, Fortnite and Call of Duty and what they're doing is like, I don't even get on that stuff. That's not my style of game. But when GoldenEye came out, when the Nintendo 64 came out, I was in my first station in the military, Air Force, 1998-ish. I can remember a buddy of mine getting the Nintendo 64, and his first run was GoldenEye, Gauntlet Legends, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, a couple other smaller games, but not smaller games, but like other games. And GoldenEye, we enjoyed the heck out of it. Golden Gun, all that stuff. I was much better then than I am now. Andy and I played it not long ago. Andy is a collector of 64. I'm a collector of PlayStation 2. That's my jam. Andy is the 64 guy. We played it at his house, and he literally just sat behind me and watched me do like pirouettes, and just kept taking me out. Like I couldn't.
But I'll say this about GoldenEye, and I think we've talked about it in the comments too. There's a lot of nostalgia to it, and everything you said about it is correct. Like, it is a pioneer. Like, prior to this game, yes, we had first-person shooters, but I think GoldenEye got it right. Like, the whole multiplayer side of things too was just game changer, right? For hang out, get together, stuff like that. But it's almost like one of those things that's like, it's a great historical piece. We can honor it. Playing it today, it just doesn't hold up as well. It's still fun. I mean, we'll still play it, but the genre has come so far. I mean, like it walked so like games like Halo or other things could run, right? You know what I mean? Like this is where we got this. But all that to say, it's still one of my favorite N64 games of all time. It's fantastic. I mean, it's one of the most iconic first levels of a game. The dam where you jump off that. We're going to talk about cheat codes in a couple weeks and just kind of foreshadow a little bit. Like doing the DK, the big head mode, or the paintball mode was super fun. Yeah, a lot of what's the level where you come in through the air ducts and you shoot the guy who's on the toilet? Oh, what an iconic! I mean,
the facility.
Facility. Yeah, that's right. The music, the pause music is the greatest pause music of all music.
Hey, I want to shout out Thor KC. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being in the chat, and Rob's Kitchen. Thanks for being here, being in the chat.
Yeah, I wouldn't even look at that. Call of Duty wouldn't have never existed without this success. Yeah, exactly. Those types of games that took it to a different. Oh, I don't know what happened to Bryce. Bryce is working on some audio things, so I think that's what is going on. But yeah, great pick. I love this pick. Oh, and Kirk's on the side. So let's continue talking about GoldenEye. No, it's a great one. It is a great.
I could talk about GoldenEye all night. I mean, yeah, we're good. Somebody said 4-player split screen. So when I think of that, and maybe I can ask you this. So 4 players, the facility, you mentioned that, one of my favorite levels, but facility using remote mines. I mean, we spent hours as kids with that multiplayer. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryce is back. I think he's spinning. Just spinning. He's just spinning. If Bryce can get back on, we'll let him back on. There he is. So Bryce is having some PC issues, so he's coming on from his phone. So Bryce, if you pop in and out, that's okay. Hey, so I think it's my turn, and I'm home by myself with just my son, and he had to ask me a question. Billy Kiff in the house on the Facebook side. everybody, say hello to Billy. Billy also does a cool video game channel from the convention side. So, Andy jumped out. So I'll give you my criteria. So my criteria was, if I, oh, you're here. You're here. So if I wanted to do it correctly, I in just being, from my childhood, I would have picked all Nintendo games, regular Nintendo, NES, right? But we've done a NES show, Andy, and actually, I think our NES show was with Retro Maniac, was it not? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't. I'm trying to think who might have. Oh, no. Our NES one was with Retro Car Collector, Keith. Huh? So, anyways, we've already done NES games. So it would be really boring if I picked those because it would probably be pretty similar. So what I decided I'm going to pick four games that drive nostalgia. It's nostalgia month. Whether it was for playing them for a long time, playing them a lot, or what's up, bud? Thanks for being here. Either it's playing it a ton, playing with friends. We're having sleepover games coming up too. So I didn't want to jump in and do some sleepover games that I'm going to repeat later. Some of these probably will be repeated, but I thought I'm going to pick basically my favorite nostalgic game from the 4 old systems that I used to play as a kid. So that's kind of where I went. There was 5 old systems, one being the Atari. If the Atari one, I might do Atari in my Benjamins because it was my first system, to be honest. But I'm going to come out with we're just going to go nostalgia-wise. Now, I don't have this one for the system I'm talking about, but I do have it for Nintendo. But I'm going to come out with when I was a kid, my dad played one video game in his life. That's it. Never played anything else. I probably have just given it away if you've been around long enough.
We know it.
Dad didn't love a whole lot of video games, or he wasn't very good at them, but he loved this one. And when I first got the original Game Boy, my dad played the heck out of Tetris. And when it comes to being a kid, hanging out and playing with your dad is just one of those things that I didn't really have a chance to. I play a lot of video games with my kids, so I don't know what they would pick as far as childhood would go. But as far as me, this is the only game my parents played, and I can remember having them sit in the recliner and just draining the heck out of my batteries, because back then you didn't have all the different kind of battery packs and whatnot. You had to get extra things, and you know what I mean. But we drained a ton of batteries playing Tetris, and man, I was really good at it. I wasn't like championship level, but I mean, I was getting really high in the levels, and my dad was actually pretty good at it, which was fun to play. So when I think of childhood games, nostalgia, story time, hanging out with my dad, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite people in the world, if not the favorite person in the world, I'm going with Tetris. So Game Boy version. This is the Nintendo. But I don't have the Game Boy version. So I do have a couple Game Boy games, but not Tetris for whatever reason, which is weird. So there, that's going to be my number one.
I knew immediately this was on your list tonight because of nostalgia purposes. I like where you're going with your route because, yeah, like you said, we've discussed ad nauseum. There we go.
There it is.
All kinds of different video games. We need a shirt that just says ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum. Hey, look, I love that Nightbot is working. Barry said it earlier. He's being much nicer. Hey, I took off the notes.
Got some house training.
I took the caps off, so all the caps that everybody gets yelled at. And then I went and I played with it a lot today, and it's kind of working. So if anybody says, hey, hello, what's up, hi, hiya, any kind of like hello, it should say welcome back. And that's where we're at. And so that it's working, and I'm glad. And it's, hey,
it's working.
And it only does it every like so many comments too, Andy. So if it hasn't been enough comments, keep triggering. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep saying hey. I'm gonna spam it.
Spam hey.
I was going to say about Tetris that Kirk, that a lot of people's childhood, I feel like I grew up playing Tetris, especially on the Game Boy, but probably on the NES as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it. I obviously played this version quite a bit. I had the Tengen version for a little bit. It's funny. This one actually has my niece's name on it. It was her game, I guess. Kayla S. Which my nephew, her brother, tried to sell a whole collection to Kris last show we were at. But yeah, this is her brother, his sister, and she don't even play games. I don't even know how that happened. So somehow or another, that found its way in my collection. She's probably getting rid of it. So I was like, no. But yeah, I'm gonna go that route today. Just because if you really want to know what my Nintendo games are, or have we done Super Nintendo yet? I don't think so, and I'm ready for that one because that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Crazy. Year 4, we haven't done SNES yet.
Yeah, we haven't done it. We haven't done it yet, but we can do it. We can do it next video game cycle. We're already, speaking of that, we are locking people in for video games. You want to be on a video game show? That's January and February. SNES is an option. SNES is an option.
Wow.
All right, so Andy, you're up.
Well, Kris, what do you think about Tetris?
Do you like Tetris?
I do. I like Tetris as a game that I played. I played more on my Game Boy. I think it was more of a portable for me.
Right.
The one thing that Tetris, and I'll say the same thing about, maybe later down the line with another game I'm about to mention, but there is a huge, it's super competitive. There was something I was watching on TV where they had like the World Championships. There are some really good people. I thought I was decent at it, but man, it's humbling watching some of these people in the World Championships.
The documentary on Apple TV or whatever yet?
I don't know. I haven't watched that one. Now, this was on
Apple TV because I'm not an Apple guy, but everybody's bragging about it, and I want to see it. So it's apparently really good. My dad played the Snake game on his retro phone. Yeah, my dad didn't do that. My only thing my dad did other than playing Tetris was he played casino games on remember when we used to get the little Tiger handhelds or whatever?
Yes.
But they were the ones like a casino, and they were like just slots, and he would just hit the same button over and over again. Like, I used to laugh at him. I'm like, what? Why is that even fun? Like, you're just hitting a button over and over.
My wife's grandmother was always the handheld solitaire.
Well, that's better. At least you can kind of slot. Like, I don't get the slots video game guy. I don't get that guy. I don't understand.
Are we counting PC games tonight? Because that you just might have unlocked a whole world for me.
Not sure if it would be Rushmore games, but Test Drive 3 Passion and LHX Attack Chopper got installed on every computer I touched in high school. That's awesome.
Test Drive.
So when I was thinking about that, and a couple other things real quick. Poetically Christian Gamer said, howdy do. This is Peter McAllister, the father. Tetris was a game my mom stole the Game Boy. Yep. We've already said Jamie's. Oh, I can't believe it. Nightbot is Home Alone 2. Yeah. Koi Fish in the house. Hey guys, you want to see a cool video game channel? Speaking of someone that we would love to have on, Koi Fish. We're doing video games in January and February. You are welcome and invited. We would love to have you if you're down. But the Wheel of Fortune mobile games was really great, Patrick says. Yeah. So, Andy, what you got?
No, it's not me. It's a new month. It's a new series, Kirk. It's you. You just went. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I'm lost at where we are. I switched things. I went all over the place.
Yeah, I just went.
Oh, goodness.
You wanted to catch you. Oh, this new Andy guy doesn't know.
I don't know how it goes here. No, okay. But it is funny that we're mentioning handheld games because you could unlock a whole new level of Benjamins for me later. You guys know how I like to do Benjamins. So
hey, real quick, Koi Fish, best message us on Instagram. We could talk in the Discord. I know you're over in Discord. But basically you would just pick a Thursday night in January or February. So, all right, Andy, go.
All right. So my criteria that I did was I said, first of all, I defined childhood as when I lived under my parents' roof, right? So what systems did I have whilst living under their roof and their rules? And I took those systems and I'm going to present to you a game from each one of those. Right now, I know we've talked about many of these systems. However, some of these games may change from what my George was of that one if I had to go back and remember what I picked for them, either for a few reasons. A, I've replayed them and I've come to that realization, which again, just as a reminder, as a member of the channel, put in the chat, let us know what revisit you want us to do. Like if there's an old Rushmore that you would like us to revisit, that's always fun to do. So put that in there. Anyway, so either I've revisited it and I've changed my mind, or one of the big things for me was just sheer volume of play, right? Which of these games was I just obsessed with? You know, it may not have ranked as my number one, but I went with, again, nowadays you log how many hours you're playing a game and stuff like that. Back then we didn't necessarily do that, but I knew I played so many hours. Now, some of those save files, you know, like on some of those games would keep track of that stuff. But what are the games that I just couldn't put down, couldn't turn off, you know, that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where I went with mine. So 4 different systems tonight, 4 different games that I just played the absolute mess out of, right? So that's kind of where I went with my list. And what I'm going to start with, and also these systems are, out of the 4 systems, are then put in order. So it's kind of get like a weird bonus Rushmore for me tonight. These are all, again, ones that when I was living under my parents' roof, when I was there, what are the things that I was playing? So without any further ado, my first one is coming from the Sega Genesis, and we have to do it already. It's Sonic 2. It's Sonic 2. Dude, the music in this one, the gameplay in this one, the sheer level of anxiety you would get when you were underwater running out of breath, and it would speed up. Like, yeah, this game is so fun, man. I just love the graphics of it too. I love the brightness of the colors, everything. But this game I played so much so that some of the sounds in this game just bring back nostalgia triggers, right? When he's speeding up, and then like the rings and all of those different things, just what it felt like to jump on top of those little monitors and get rings or whatever. I will say some of the bosses are a little easy in this game. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it was good as a kid because it felt like you could beat this game. You could be successful. But this is one of those early on ones. But I went Sonic 2 specifically just because that was the one that I played a ton of. If you go back to an episode that we talked about Genesis games, I did put Sonic 3 on my list because some of that, the levels were really cool in that, and then having the Knuckles factor of it too. But being able to have, just Bryce, like you said, Sonic, Tails, this is the game that I think of when I think of Sonic. The casino level, all of that stuff. I love Sonic 2. This is a classic game. We definitely had the Genesis. We had quite a few games for the Genesis, but this is the one that I always found myself playing. Sonic 2 is going to be my Rosie for tonight. And already we have got a Crushmore on the board. So I'm excited for tonight. I figured Bryce and I would have some. I'm 30. I'll be 36 in a month and 31. So 5 years apart there. So, you know, we say he's earlier than us, but he's kind of close there with me.
Our first Crush.
Kind of close, yeah.
I put it on for you guys.
Yes, it's a great game. It is a
Thank
fantastic
you.
game. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Bryce, I'm just
think
copying
3
the
is-
list tonight, okay? Just want you to know that.
No worries. I'm going to copy some people's list in here too, but for the most part, I was going to say that Sonic 2 is a great choice. I'm sure with a lot of people that have the Genesis, like I've seen and I've heard so many stories with people having the Genesis and having Sonic 2. Like it's definitely a childhood game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we've talked about it. Any other thoughts on Sonic 2, you guys?
So it says, how many in the chat ran out of time in the casino zone trying to hit the jackpot for more lives? I mean, that was kind of like the childhood thing to do, is just kind of, I love how it became like Vegas games, and it became like slot machines and all those things we were just talking about that my dad played, but like with Sonic Pinball, and then obviously Sonic Spinball was awesome, but Sonic, yeah, I mean, I wore the shirt for Louisiana RetroCon, knowing I wore the hat. It's kind of the two big franchises. I'm sure both of them are going to be mentioned today somehow or another. Yeah, great game, man. I have 3 copies of Sonic 2, Koi Fish says. I have 0 copies. Actually, I have no Genesis games in physical nature.
There's
I don't
some
have
Genesis games that may be mentioned in Benjamin's later, because there's a nice line of games. And Kris, I know you said Genesis. You did like the Genesis, so
I did, yeah. And Sonic 2, it was one of the, for me, it was obviously there's childhood links through there. I think my Genesis came with Sonic 2, as did a lot, the not for resale version. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's a great game. Maybe not my favorite in the franchise, but it is a good game, and I'll just leave it at that.
you are
So it's
already
widely considered the best by like critic standpoint, but when you talk about fan standpoint, it hardly ever is the best when you talk to them. But everybody acknowledges it as a staple game. So a lot of people will go other routes, especially like 3, because it added a couple characters and even some of the newer stuff, which is really cool. Who else lived on Super Mario Brother World 3-1 trying to rob the turtles and see how close you could get to 99 lives without going over? That is just one of those core memories, right? Doing the whole collecting the turtles throughout the Mario games in general. Yeah, that's a good job. And Mopar says Fatal Fury fans in here? ? Any Fatal Fury fans? I love Fatal Fury. But again, this is one of those games that I only played when I had that copy device. I didn't have a Genesis, or I was at Kevin's house, which surprised Kevin ain't in here yet. But I'm sure he will. So that's the first round, man. And we had 1 Rushmore. So we crushed on Sonic 2. We have Tetris and GoldenEye. Wow. All right. So, guys, what's your round number 2, which is our third on the mountain, TJ Jazzy Jeff. And that's for Thomas Jefferson. So everybody in the chat, what's the third one in your list? Mopar says my grandparents chain smoked. Oh, hilarious. Arcade wise, I'd go with totally a fun game. So Bryce, you're up, man. Hey, 15 of you guys in the chat, if you love what's going on, hit that like button. So Bryce, what do you got going on?
All right, so for me, this is going to be spoilers, another Crushmore. It's going to be GoldenEye 007. That game.
Whoa!
We are rolling through all the same games. Go. Whoa, did we both hit at the same time, Andy? All right, Bryce, tell us all about why you think this deserves to be on the mountain.
Okay, so GoldenEye not just was a good single player game, and it was revolutionized like first person shooters and like the genre in general, but it also was a great multiplayer game. You could play 4 players, which was the N64 and Nintendo 64 specialty, and you can have all 4 people just running around and shooting and having a good time. And I remember I would have my neighbors come over and play that game with me, and it was just they had a lot of good memories, and we were try to get all the secrets and secret areas, and I like the snow area. That was a fun place. The dam was a cool place too. I'm trying to think of the facility that was fun. Like it was a really fun. Trying to get the golden gun and the lasers and all the secret weapons was really cool too.
Yeah. This game is we've
It
shared.
is definitely awesome. One of the reasons for me, 64 wasn't my childhood, so it was kind of me heading out of my dad's house, right? That's when that came out. So I'm assuming for Kris this would be more high school time frame because I was kind of out,
right.
And then for Andy, this is more like your middle school. So man, Bryce, you must have been really young playing this game, right?
I was like in my, I think I was 12 when I first played it. 12 or
Very first time.
13.
Okay. So yeah, I would assume that because 64 is just kind of an older game for you, especially the Genesis. So I love where
Yeah.
you're going with this, Bryce. And we've talked about this game so much on the channel. Because of first person shooters, it's like we actually did first person shooters with Retro Rob. I think we did it with Retro Rob, and
Rob's awesome.
that was a great show. And we talked about this game being kind of the grandfather of all that. And like everything you said, man. Like right now, we got 4 on the chat. All of us could be playing right now. I flipped it on right here.
I'm looking at my screen.
Yeah. And the pause screen. What about the pause screen, guys?
It's the best pause music
the
out there.
music was
Other
good,
people will
yeah.
say
Hands down.
Battletoads, and Battletoads is cool, but it's not GoldenEye. It's not GoldenEye.
Kirk or Andy or Chris, do y'all remember when you could get the like little laser guns, like the secret weapons, like the golden gun and the laser weapons?
One shot.
That was
I
fun.
needed the golden gun because I was only going to hit you once.
I liked when you would do multiplayer and you would do like melee only or like mines only. It's like, how do you win? Like remote mines only.
That's what we did. Remote mines only, and we would do that for hours and hours and hours.
That unlocked a core memory. That Joker was hard. So here's the thing. Here's one of the reasons I'm not very good at first-person shooter games. I'm not very good at playing co-op games. That's the problem. Like I want to play the computer. So I want to play against the guys and kind of learn I am terrible like in a melee, right? I'm first dead. Unless it's like Mario Kart. I can do that. But like whenever I'm playing like a sports game, like if I play somebody in Madden, I'll win like 100-0 against the computer. Play Madden, I'm losing like 3,000 to nothing. I'm just not. I guess I learned the AI of it, and first person shooters are just hard when people are really good and they know what the heck they're doing. And I just never got into them because it made me rage quit. Right? I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want to play this game no more. And so I never really played them. Yeah, that. Not to mention, I was a PlayStation guy, so like when Halo and stuff came out, I didn't get that until later. And I was like, it's a first-person shooter. I don't need it. I don't need that. And then so like everybody's like playing that, so they were all much better than me. But anyways, Chris, you're up.
All right. So the next one I'm going with. So I know we had a bunch of Sonic 2s here. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm gonna go Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Nice.
And for 2 reasons, right? One, obviously, with Sonic 3, I think the levels were a little bit more, I say difficult, but they were a little bit more diverse, maybe not as linear. Find some little secret pathways, Mushroom Hill, things like that. But then adding the element of Knuckles, the Knuckles attachment. I don't know if that's cheating, but having Knuckles with Sonic 3 in there. The actual cartridge itself, again, ahead of its time. It was such a cool, innovative way. You could play, Knuckles, whereas in the original Sonic 3 game, he was kind of the bad guy. So that, again, core memory, one of my favorite games, Sonic games in the entire franchise.
Yeah, I love this one. I did mention this when we talked about Genesis games. One of the cool things, too, and we didn't say this before, but the little mini games that you have within the game, is some of the most enjoyable stuff too. Like get all the blue spheres or, like whatever. And it kind of tied in when you go to that and you go back to Sonic 2 and like the, the ring and like the little half pipe kind of deal that you're doing. It kind of was like showing you what Sonic would become eventually, whether they believe you saw it or not. Like Sonic has kind of evolved, I think more than Mario's evolved too, but like this one's evolved to that kind of linear or your whatever 3D kind of whatever it was, but those mini games are really cool in those ones too. And then Knuckles is just a cool character, right?
Hey, just wanted to shout out Bill Keys. Wanted to stop by and show some love. I apologize, I got to get back to work. Thanks for jumping in, man. We will see you hopefully at Louisiana RetroCon very soon, man, and hopefully you come by and visit. So also, Bill, if you want to jump on the show, we've talked about it before, but you're definitely invited. Yeah, 25 hype light. Let's get that thing to pass. Yeah, let's get it to 35. Let's get it at 35 hype light. So this, so let me hear this again. But so are you picking Sonic and Knuckles? Is that what we're picking?
Well, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I don't know if that's so. The Sonic 3, but with the Knuckles attachment. That's
I
how
put
you do
Sonic
it. Yeah.
and Knuckles. So yeah, and so I was like, okay, is he going Sonic 3 or Sonic? So Sonic 3.
But it has the Knuckles attachment.
The
The
Knuckles
Knuckles.
attachment.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Knuckles
Also a cool cartridge.
was always
Cool
my
little
favorite Sonic character. And I loved when he came in the movie. My daughter, she's actually in Colorado playing softball right now. But for softball and baseball, you know, you got it's best to kind of line your knuckles up. And so as a kid, I used to always yell at her and be like, Knuckles, Knuckles, Knuckles. And everybody thought I was calling her Knuckles, but I was kind of reminding her to line her knuckles up. So her nickname has been Knuckles since she was a little kid. And I mean, I just love Knuckles as a character, but it's kind of a fondness to now. And it's a great game. So Sonic 3, all this, you can't go wrong with any of the Sonics, to be honest. Like, there's some bad games, but it's still nostalgic, and it's still like you still have fun for all the reasons you mentioned. All three of you have picked a Sonic game, which is the Genesis, and here's a spoiler alert. I'm not picking a Genesis game, so I won't crush with you on this, but I do love these games. Andy, Sonic 3, Bryce.
Yeah,
Sonic 3.
yeah. I was just mentioning it's good. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Bryce?
So one thing about Sonic 3, I don't know if you know, but there's a little secret in it where you can unlock Hypersonic. Where there's like, if you collect all the emeralds and then go to the Master Emerald, you can unlock Hypersonic. I saw a video on it, and he's faster than Supersonic. You go to the Master Emerald, and I forgot all what happens, but you can get like a new form, a new Sonic form.
That's pretty cool.
That's wild. Yeah. So awesome. So it's my turn, huh?
Yep.
Okay, yep. So let's see so again, not because I definitely don't have this one in my house because I don't own any cabinets, but I'm going to go to an arcade today. And when I was a kid, one of my favorite games, back in the day, we talked about this because we did arcade games way back when. We had Max rapping for our intro.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, but those are great. And I saw somebody mention Turtles in Time a little while ago. Bryce JW Ray, just kidding, just me. What's up, Blaze? Here's the deal. I'm going to go with an arcade game today. This is the one that I remember most wanting to be in the arcade for. There was a ton of really good ones. I had Double Dragon playing a little while ago. Turtles in Time has been mentioned. All kinds of arcade games. But the one that I remember just lining quarters up and waiting for all the guys to play. And there was this like group of guys that just stayed on all day, and you had to beat them to get on, was Street Fighter 2. And I have the Turbo edition here for the Super Nintendo. But just the regular Street Fighter 2 arcade game was just like mind-blowing to me as far as fighting goes. PCG is in the house. He plays a lot of fighting games. If you guys like fighting games, go watch Poetically Christian Gamer. He was doing Mortal Kombat. He's doing like a Mortal Kombat like every Monday. But he plays a lot of games. And I don't know what won your Tuesday or Wednesday, Derek. Did Street Fighter win? But I think Street Fighter is going to be on his lineup. Street Fighter 2, man. They just announced the new movie coming out. The cast looks really cool. They announced just now that Cody Rhodes is going to be Guile and Roman Reigns is going to be Akuma. A bunch of other people, which is just really cool. But I'm excited for that. Hopefully it's better than the other one. But Andy actually put that movie on his video game movies of all time. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So here's the deal. I'm going Street Fighter 2 for the arcade. And it's just, gosh, talk about childhood, standing in line, wanting to go play at the mall, which the mall, it had a couple different names, right? Throughout the time for my son to do his push-ups. So, anyways, it had a ton of names, but you know, I worked at KB Toys, which was right next door. So whenever I got a break, I would run over there and go play, you know, put some quarters in and play some games. But Street Fighter 2 is definitely the one that I think was the staple of my childhood. Yeah, and it was everywhere too. Everybody had that guy. So
I love this pick. Street Fighter 2 was a Benjamin of mine, although I've got a 12 billion Benjamin, so I'm okay. This is a great pick. Here's the thing. I often joke about this kind of stuff. We know we have the Enneagrams and the personality tests. Who is your go-to character on Street Fighter 2? That tells me a lot about who you are, right? So I'm gonna start here, Kirk, since it's your game right now. Who's your guy? Or lady, because there's some good ones on it.
So okay, let's go top four because we're a top four.
Wait,
I'm gonna go
this one day.
Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go Blanca at 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Chun-Li at 2.
Great pick.
Yeah, Blanca at 4.
Is highly underrated.
I'm gonna go. Well, Ken and Ryu are the same character, but I would always go Ryu. Ryu is my George, and for number 2, Guile. So yeah, Ryu, Guile, Chun-Li, Blanca.
All right. Kris, what about you? You don't have to give me a top 4 necessarily.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, you know, Street Fighter again, great game. I was always Blanca for some reason, but the entire Street Fighter franchise was ruined for me because I had a friend who still to this day he obliterates me to the point to where it was just never fun for me because I would always lose. So it was one of those games where I see it, I'm like,
Box,
and so
Box has my same 4 as in a different order.
Yeah. So mine would be.
Hey, what I love about Blanca, Chun-Li, E Honda, I love the mash the button move. You know, just button mash, because when you're little, that's like it's easy, right? And then the half rotations for Ryu and Ken, those weren't too hard. But like Zangief and Dalsim and some of those other guys, you had to put full rotations or back forwards.
Yeah.
Sometimes those weren't easy.
I'll say that my 4. So I would have Vega at 4. Vega was always cool to me. The 3.
Now, I wasn't going to count the 4 bosses, but at that level, Vega was cool.
Well, Vega's a playable character.
Well, in the later versions, yes. In this version, for sure, he's a playable character.
Yeah. So Vega, Dalsim, and then it would be E Honda. I always liked being E Honda, and then Blanca's the one. You had to be Blanca.
Hey, so Blaze, I saw what you said. Sorry, you said where is Cody Rhodes going to be? Cody Rhodes was just announced last week to play Guile in the new Street Fighter movie. That you can go look that up. And Roman Reigns was already announced a couple weeks ago. What's the guy's name? Aquaman. He's in it as M. Bison, maybe? No, I don't know. He's in it. Good evening, Drew. Drew's in the house. But anyways, got a lot of cool little cast members. Ryu, Ken, Bison, E Honda. Yeah.
What about you, Bryce? Bryce, what would you go Street Fighter 2?
Yeah, so mine would be Cammy, Ryu / Ken, Chun-Li, and Dalsim. Is that how you say his name?
Dalsim.
Yeah,
he's a cheat code.
So, yeah, Dalsim or Dalsim. It's a couple different ways. Papa and Baby Bear, what's up, fellas? Love the hat, brother. Stopping by the show. Before I worked in law enforcement here in Chicago, so busy. Hey, we're Papa. Thursday nights in October. You're up. I just got a message you. So pick a Thursday night in October, and you're up. We'd love to have you. We mentioned it. Yeah, Jason Momoa. Oh, he's Blanca. Wow. So Jason Momoa is going to be Blanca. I
love that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a cool. Hopefully, it's really good. I don't know. Thanks for popping in, Papa. You're a great channel. Great channel. If you got a guy who likes hanging out with his kid, go check out Pop. We're gonna have them on the channel. Really, Momoa is Blanca. Yeah, go look at it. It's here. I'll pull it up while you guys are talking for your next one. Andy, what is your next pick?
All right, my next one here. Let me go here. All right, is no surprise to the chat. I'm going to the Game Boy. I'm going to the Game Boy, and I'm going Pokemon Yellow. This is the game from my childhood. I've said it plenty of times. I remember, Toops, I don't know if you're in the chat, but maybe or maybe not. But I remember having a Game Boy and going to a friend's house and like having that or whatever. And it was nighttime when I started playing, and then you look up and it's daytime. And I feel like Pokemon Yellow was that game where I just lost track of all time. I got into a space-time continuum when I would play this game because I would not put it down. The batteries had to run out on my Game Boy for me to put it down. This game was so stinking fun. I loved Pokemon. If you've ever watched the show, you know that I love Pokemon. Pokemon was a great thing. Again, talking about the original 150, right? Not the 12 billion that they have now. I don't even know who half those Pokemon are anymore. I've got kids in our kid ministry that come and show me their cards. I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. I just don't know them. But when it comes to the first gen, like that kind of stuff, yeah, I am always going to be a Pokemon person. Pokemon can make an appearance on a show. It's definitely going to make an appearance. Not only that, but I think the fact that the game was just so much amplified for me too, because not only was there the game, there was the trading cards, there was the TV show, there was the movies, there was all of the things that went into it. It was, obviously a phenomenon, right? Like it was just great. But Yellow was where it's at. I don't think you can go wrong with blue or red. I think those are great. I think Yellow was adding in the bike, and it just made transportation so much easier. You could skip some of the Zubats and stuff. Like you went into a cave and you got like 12 Zubats before you got out. You're like, oh my gosh, how many of these I got to fight? But yeah, this game was tremendously fun. And it's so fun that if you watch this show, you know that I hate RPGs. I just don't like RPGs at all. But the fact that it's Pokemon that I'm doing an RPG with, I don't care. I will overlook that because it's just that good. It's that good. So, there's plenty of Pokemon games that I mentioned on this show that have got me a lot of hate, but I will always throw Pokemon in there when I can. I'm going Pokemon Yellow, Pikachu on the cover, everything like that. It is one of my favorite games of all time.
All right. Pause for a second. So here it is. Man, they got some good. Andrew Schultz, the comedian, he's playing Dan.
Okay.
The guy that played in so the two wrestlers, like I mentioned, are playing as well. Orville Peck is playing Vega. Kalina Liang is playing Chun-Li. David Dasmalchian, he was a thug in Batman. He was one of Joker's thugs. He's playing in Bison. Jason Momoa, Cody Rhodes, Andrew Koa, Noah Centineo. Nathan Jones is in it. The guy that plays in what is it? He was the Rock or whatever, that guy. So if you go and look, almost the whole cast is done.
50 Cent is playing Balrog.
Oh yeah, 50 Cent is Balrog. That is it's a pretty insane cast. Roman Reigns is Akuma. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm on the RPG guy. Poetically Christian game. Oh, Francisco. All right. So, before you leave, Francisco's in the house. Everybody, Francisco is a part of the Culture Box, and he just put out a new board game Kickstarter.
Yes.
A board game Kickstarter, and literally he launched it on the 30th. And we need to get him to his goal. The goal is 10,000, I think, by the end of next month. I don't know where you're at. I haven't looked in a while, Francisco, but before the first day stream was over, he had already surpassed quite a bit, like 10%. You guys are really kind to mention this so often. Yeah, go buy Junkyard Juggernauts. Go support Junkyard Juggernauts Kickstarter. Go right now and support any way you can.
We need a commercial for that.
The game is quite expensive, and it is very in depth. So if that's not your jam, that's cool. You can support in all kinds of other ways. You can get you a puzzle or some stickers. Yeah, just go support any way you can, and that would be really amazing to help El Capitan, our buddy. So yeah, there's the link. Go follow. Yeah, send it to somebody you know that loves tabletop games. He put a lot of work in this. 2 years. I've played it a couple times. It is fun. If you like it, it is time consuming. It's one of those. It's an RPG type game. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, things like that, you'll like this. So go check that out. Sorry, had to put that commercial in while Francisco was here and moving right along. So
yeah. Pokemon Yellow. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Pokemon Yellow. It's mentioned ad nauseum. Now, Pokemon is your jam. I kind of had a feeling you'd have this not so low. I'm interested to see where you're going. I don't have any Pokemon. Pokemon was a phenomenon that happened as I was older. So, that's something I never got to do. But I get to hang out with my kids and play. Love Pokemon Go when that came out on the phone and going all over the country, kind of trying to, not the country, but I remember like driving all the way to Gulfport when I was in Slidell just to see if there was different stuff with the family. But yeah, so good pick, man.
Bryce, I know you like Pokemon. Did you like? We've talked about this before. Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, I loved Yellow. The only thing I feel like Yellow was harder than Blue. If you remember, Andy, that the first couple gems was kind of hard. I mean, Misty was easier because she was a water type, but gem leader. But Brock was really hard because you needed a ground. Was it ground or was it fighting? I can't remember for his rock types. You needed either a fighting type move or a Nidoran for the Brock gem leader. So like that was what made it hard, was because he was rock and ground. So
yeah,
for your Pikachu.
I also like the fact that that Pikachu followed you around in this game. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I like the different emojis, emoticons.
Yeah.
Hey, so Francisco's at 2,700 out of 10,800. He's got 28 backers, guys. That is awesome. 36 days to go. Let's get him there. So, good pick, man. Good pick. And Kris, you said you're an RPG guy for life, man.
I am an RPG guy for life.
It's the only RPG he's going to have on any kind of mountain.
Believe it or not, we did an RPG episode and I was able to do it. So
But it
was a stretch. It was a stretch.
It is. It's there. But similar to Kirk, as far as Pokemon goes, it was a little bit, when it came out in 98, 14, probably not at the time as cool for me. I've gained an appreciation now as an adult, especially since Jamie's era, right? This is what, as part of the Yellow Rose, we share each other's childhood, and Pokemon was right in her childhood. So I've gained an appreciation. I speak it a little bit more fluent now than I did back then. But I have not gone back to some of the older games. I have played some of the newer ones on Switch, Scarlet and Violet, and then even before that. But it's just, for me, as far as childhood nostalgia goes, Pokemon it wasn't there for me.
I got it. I remember. Listen, I was in 4th grade. I was a new kid at a new school. We had just moved, and Pokemon was the big craze. And it was like, what was really cool about it, I don't know if I've ever shared this, but like as a new kid, fresh in town, Pokemon craze happened. This is 1998. So this is as it's happening. I was like, let me get these cards. And immediately I connected with friends, right? Because it doesn't matter if you were the new kid, whatever. This is what brought you into that group. So this had a lot to do with my like childhood in that sense. And like acceptance. I know we're getting deep there with that, but that was a big part of my life for sure.
The irony of my statement, I'm going to go ahead and say that. I know you highlighted it, but a lot of the friends that I have in here right now, supporters and, love them all to death, we met them through Pokemon. That's what makes this whole statement irony. But again, as an adult, I've gained appreciation and met a lot of friends, doing, in that community, particularly on the card side. So.
Yeah.
So Thor is saying, I think it deserves a modern tech remastering. Would be tough not to not ruin a practically perfect gameplay for limitations of time, but such great game deserves it. And then Francisco says, I can get behind that, but if they made it a movie, who would cast as Snake? So I had mentioned it back here, scrolling way up here. They've been talking about all kinds of fun games, right? So Chrono Trigger, Metal Gear Solid is what they're chatting there, and just going on. Yeah, Pokemon. Pokemon's it's a staple if you're a '90s kid. So yeah, and my kid loves it, and yeah, I'm excited. A couple weeks or a couple days actually, my son should be receiving some Pokemon, so it's gonna be really awesome.
Andy,
Party
what's your
Parrot,
real quick?
pretty legit. That's
What's
from
your Bryce?
Andy, what's your favorite? Sorry, what's your favorite Pokemon?
So I'm gonna go to the one the original, the Gen 1 stuff. I was literally always a like a Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur fan. That was like my favorite, and it's such a weird reason. Green and blue are my two favorite colors, and they had all of that in one. So like I don't know, just like visually, my mind just went to those ones. But my first Pokemon card I ever got was a Machamp. So that was my number one original Pokemon card that I got that brought me in.
Cannon's favorite is Gengar.
Gengar is a popular pick. He's fantastic. He's awesome. I mean, I love
Ralph too.
Yeah, I love all Charizard. You can't go wrong. Gyarados, you can't go wrong with. I mean, like, dude, there's so many.
Dragonite.
Yeah, like the only ones like I don't love are like Metapod and like those things. But Scyther is really cool. I like Raichu.
Cool, yeah.
I think Raichu is really cool and needs some more love than he gets. But
Yeah.
those are
I
cool.
agree with
All right.
that.
Sandslash is awesome. Nidoking. Yeah, I mean, I can.
Cannon the other day bought a How to Draw Pokemon book.
Oh, Rushmore of Pokemon would be fun, and Kirk would have to do some.
I mean, I could come up with a Rushmore of Pokemon because I like the art. I mean, I wouldn't have any like nostalgia to them, but I could tell you my Rushmore if I sat and looked at them.
Yancey is George.
Totes my goats. All right, man, we're halfway. Let's do this before it gets too late. And so a couple things. Number one, beginning of the month, we will be at Louisiana Retro Con. And along with us will Kris, who is here with Yellow Rose Retro. He'll be there as well with his booth. Come visit us first weekend of August in Gonzales, Louisiana. I just saw the other day, Davey is looking for people to come and help volunteer if you want to jump on that wagon. We will be there, and we will be doing giveaways. We'll go on all over to the booths again and see if anybody wants to do some giveaways. And we will really push and support all of the booths. We love this community so much. And sometime that weekend, we will have a message that we're preaching. Now, this last one was Sonic. This next one coming up is Mario. And we will be preaching something on the Super Mario franchise with the gospel. And so that's our next show. But coming up after that is St. Tammany Collectors Con. We have Pelican. We have, hopefully, which Scooby-Doo hasn't got back to us yet, but Cajun Con has all been in the works. And, yeah, we potentially are going to be at a few more. Oh, and Augusta Video Game Expo. Oh, Kris, you ever want to come down to Augusta? I got a guy that you can connect with. He had his first show last March, and his next show is this March. So I know you guys have a lot on your docket, but he's usually in the chat. He'll probably be in the chat before this thing's over with. But we're going to be a part of all those this year and bringing the gospel, bringing what we call Nerd in the Word. So Nerd in the Word is just basically that, going into spaces that we feel are unreached, hanging out with our friends, but talking to them in a level that isn't kind of bashing them over the head with the Bible, but much less showing that their fandoms and faith can be united. So PNX is in the house. Pammy and Javi will be on the show in like a month, right? In like a month. That's the show actually that's going to be on a Tuesday night in 2 weeks. So we had to move it because Andy and I are going to be in camp. So that's another announcement right on time. Pammy and Javi will be here. We're going to be doing nostalgia triggers. So with that being said, Andy, you want to share with them who we want to talk about in the Culture Box world up here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got our friends at Culture Box, right? Oh, look, I pointed the right way finally. It's so hard to get that mirroring down. It's that. I'm pointing at it. You guys can see it with your eyes. That is Culture Box. That's a group of friends that we are connected with that are either YouTubers or they're on just there. They have spaces online where they nerd out, but they also have some Christian. Whoa, what's happening? Kirk is taking over with 2 screens. I don't know what happened there. Okay.
Well, I wasn't supposed to come on.
Well, he is, though. He's there.
I did.
I'm going to remove you. I don't know what happened. Anyway, let's go back to Culture Box. While we're talking about that, hey, Francisco's in here, so I think it'd be cool for us to give a shout out to the Retro Rewind Pod. Check this commercial out.
Every other week, join the Retro Rewind Pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. Expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and rotating guest hosts who are all out of time.
There you go. That's the Retro Rewind Pod commercial. Go check them out. Let them know. Talk to Francisco. He's in the chat right now. And let them know that we sent you there. We love our friends over at Culture Box. And Kirk, you messed everything up. There we go. Now we're back.
I gave it an echo because I was trying to upload the video. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So not only do we love supporting Culture Box, obviously we love that too, but we love supporting all this coffee that I just drank, right? Kirk, yeah. We love this. We have an official coffee, believe it or not, of the Rushmore Show called Village Coffee. If you love coffee, you want to order from here. Let's play a quick commercial from Village Coffee.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code Rushmore for free shipping.
There you go. How can you get free shipping on your coffee? A delicious, fantastic. That's the only coffee I drink now is Village Coffee. You definitely want to check that out.
Hey, I do want to shout out our members. But before I do that, let's watch a short clip on what is coming up in this series. This is why I had the echo. I had to put the clip in. I'm sorry. I apologize, but here you go.
Epic.
Yeah, you know what's really epic? That ballerina picture that won't come off. I was able to get all the other ones off, so we have a ballerina in it. Cool. Here's the deal. We're gonna have a lot of great episodes. What you saw on there is all of them are already uploaded. Everybody can go to every one of those shows and hit the notify, the like, and drop a comment. That would be amazing. Because we have really done some amazing things, and preparation seems to always be key here. Whenever we get that stuff out in time, the community just gets better, right? And speaking of the community, I want to shout some people out, and then we're going to finish this show off. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, David Bryant, piano in the house. David, I just was mentioning Augusta Video Game Expo. Our guy right here, Kris, he is a video game guy, and maybe you guys can connect. But let me shout out our members. We have a bunch of members, Andy. I don't know if you know this, but I Will Retro Gamer Dad, Patrick Little, and Danielle Davis, thank you for being in our membership at a link level. You guys get to choose a Retro Rewind. Because Retro Rewind, we just mentioned them. A Rushmore Revisited. I wanted to call it Rewind, but Andy.
You're a member of our channel, so you get to dictate someone else's channel.
Yeah, go pick Retro Rewind and let's change it up. Rushmore Revisited. You guys get to pick that and pick any one of them that you want us to change. And then we have a bunch of Georges. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these were purchased by our friend Dark Link, so you guys can all go thank them. But Bryce JW in the chat and Dark Link, they're going to get a promo video from us. But we got some guys, and if you guys hang around with us for another time, we would love to make a video for you guys too. But we got Brizen, Ian and Becca Comics, Johnny Small Pepper, Christina Payne. We got Toops or Spuat. Garfin Bopper, Three Good Nerds, which is hopefully on the show in sports. Yoda's Blessed Life, the real life perspective, which has been on the show several times. Barrett Bayhurst, Bill Keys, who's been on the show, was just in the chat. Retro Rob, Retro Cannon, my son. Jessica Oob, Barry B2, Dusty Flotilla was on last week. Lil Timmy, haven't seen him in a minute, but he's awesome. Hammy and Son, Jay Thompson, Kenneth Bird, Retro Tiburon, and Rev J's Mental Journeys. All thank you for being a member. Now, let's do this and get back to the show. Bryce, you're up. Now we're at Link. Speaking of Dark Link, what is your second favorite childhood video game of all time? Yeah, Retro Rob. Yeah, I hear that. I see some other people. Juan Garcia. Chris Condon Reed has the best variety of retro video games in the South. I'm assuming that's a guy from you. Is it?
I don't know this person. No, I'm just kidding.
Also, Yellow Rose Retro Man is so handsome.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this person really loves Chris. He really loves.
Right when my wife leaves the room too. This is impeccable timing. Thank you, Mr. Juan Garcia. I appreciate it. Make me blush. I'm a little red right here. Look at
that. Impeccable timing. Speaking of, Maritza, we haven't seen Maritza in a long time. Welcome back.
Hola.
Welcome back to the show. Go check her channel out. She is Andy, she is from when Bert was hanging out and doing the Breakfast Club all the time. She's one of those friends.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, man. So, hey, Maritza, welcome back. All right, Bryce, who's your link?
My link is going to be another Crush Bar.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be Tetris.
Nice.
Three Crushmores. Man, Bryce, we could have just done your whole thing for you. Here it is. Let's get that beautiful Crush footage going in 5, 4, 3. All right, Bryce. Why Tetris?
Okay, so I just remember hours and hours spending on my Game Boy, original Game Boy, just playing Tetris and trying to get a new high score, just playing it and just having a blast with it. I remember the puzzles, the not puzzle, but the little blocks, just moving it and coming down like that. The gameplay is just it's classic. I just remember spending so many hours in that game and as a kid, so it's definitely a childhood favorite of mine.
Yeah. So
Let's-
let's just address this. We did have a back in video games an overrated games, and I did put Tetris in my overrated games. Now, just to clarify things, overrated does not mean bad.
No.
Tetris is a great game. I just thought that the hype for the delivery of the game didn't match as it should, and that's what made it overhyped. But all that to say, yeah, Tetris is it's like saying Mona Lisa is one of the greatest paintings of all time. I mean, obviously, right? It's a classic. You got to go with it, right? So Tetris is great. Music is great in Tetris, and all the spin-offs of Tetris. Somebody mentioned Paul Malls and Dr. Mario earlier, right? Would we have Candy Crush? Would we have Candy Crush today if we didn't have Tetris, right? I mean, I know it's not but the tiles and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's a great game. Obviously,
I was just playing a Rubik's Cube game like that today.
Yeah.
Because we were at the store and Cannon said, "Dad, can you get me a Rubik's Cube? I want to learn this."
This will be a fun discussion topic because we talked Tetris. We were on a friend's show. I don't even remember when it was. When we were on Vintage Sports Flips, and we were drafting video game characters, and the guy there, he drafted what was the what piece?
The Z block.
The Z block as his
Top
what's
five
the number one Tetris piece. The one when you see that piece, you're salivating. You're like, heck yeah, here we go. Now I know it depends on the situation. But let's just say you've got to pick one piece. What's the piece that you're hoping for?
The 4-line.
Yeah, the straight, the eye. That's the best one.
The straight one.
Not even hate the fact that he picked a Tetris block, but he picked the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Iowa Retro Gamer Dad gifting a membership in the chat. Hey, so
Thanks,
you guys
Iowa.
in the chat should be able to accept that if you can.
Yeah. So
Iowa, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
You guys.
What about you? I mean, is there any debate that that's the best piece to get in Tetris?
None here. Well,
No,
Done here. But first
I
off,
think that's the best one.
we're drafting the best characters. You have, Mario and Mega Man and Snake and Master Chief and
Spend a pick on a Z piece.
And out of 5 choices, he went the Z block.
That's a very Andy type pick.
Yeah, it was an Andy pick. But you and him are very similar.
But I wasn't going to go there. That's like picking the mushroom in Mario as your favorite character. Like, that's not a character. It's an item. Anyway.
Hey, I do want to shout out Nightbot again. Did you see what I was highlighting a second ago? Look at Nightbot being awesome. It worked.
It finally works.
It works.
It finally works.
Nightbot's being nice. Hey, guys. With all that being said, hopefully somebody here is able to accept that. Iowa Retro Gamer Dad was on last week. Everybody go follow him. He has a great channel. It is, I just shouted him out. It is all about video games, obviously, but it's kind of transitioned. He does opening card packs with his kids. He talks a lot about addictions and addictions in gaming. It is a great channel. As long as you can get over his voice. His voice is, I'm just kidding. I had to throw that in there for somebody else that's probably lurking in the background. But we love you a lot, Zach. Thanks for being here, bro. There he is. Kevin, where have you been? This is the one I needed you on. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, your voice is great. Your voice is great. Kevin is my childhood friend I was talking about with the Genesis game. So thanks for being back, Kev. And actually, Kris, you met Kev. Kev's the guy that I walk around with, and he was looking higher end games. Yeah. What is that?
Oh, Kirk, I was going to say real quick. You know how you mentioned the Tetris movie or Netflix or Apple TV show
Yeah.
documentary?
Mhm.
Apparently, it's a really good show. Like, it's something that I want to
I heard it
watch
was great.
eventually.
I think Kevin was the one that actually
Yeah.
told me about it. Kevin, didn't you watch the Tetris documentary? So, all right. So, Kris, your link.
All right. So, when I was putting my list together, my palms were kind of sweating on this one because, everybody that knows me knows that the
Yeah, palm
Dreamcast is my.
spaghetti.
What was that? that the
Knees
dream,
deep,
the
palms sweaty.
Dreamcast
Your
is
palms
my.
are sweaty, palm
They are.
spaghetti.
Well, yeah, there we go. Dreamcast is my favorite console, so I felt like I needed to have a Dreamcast game in this list to kind of keep that thing going. So I'm going to go with Power Stone 2. So fighting game, again, for all the reasons that I talked about GoldenEye, especially with the multiplayer, the 4 players, it's fighting action, maps where you go around, you got weapons to use, you collect the stones, whoever holds all the stones just becomes a super character, and you could just, beat up on all your friends. It was, again, another game that I spent hours with friends, probably late high school, I think kind of 2000, 2001, but still childhood memories, so many hours logged in this game. Power Stone 2, one of the best.
I've not even heard of this game.
What? No?
No.
Oh my goodness.
So Kris, we actually talked about this. I think at your booth. Dreamstone is one of the Dreamcast is one of those things that like totally was like a blip in
I bet you Kevin knows it.
And I don't know what happened that I just didn't do anything Dreamcast.
Well, it was very short-lived, right? Obviously, way ahead of its time. I think it released $99.99 was the September release, and I think within 3 or 4 years it was done.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a blip in game history. But again, it's so many great games that I feel like maybe the world just was not ready. You've got to take a look at the catalog. It's I'm telling you, it's hands down some of the best games out there.
So Poetically Christian Gamer says this is what Smash Brothers ripped off. So Dreamcast was a myth when I was a kid. No one I knew had one. That's kind of how I felt. Like who had a Dreamcast, right? I still to this look. I've got it right here, pulling up. I don't know that I've even played any of these games that's on because on the Dreamcast, I think. Let's see. I was just looking. There are quite a few games. Let's see. There are 273 games, and I haven't played a single one of them. Not one.
Disappointing. I mean, even like we talked about Sonic series, right? The Sonic Adventure was one of the better games for the class. It was a launch title. I feel like that was a game where you actually got to truly, I guess, experience how fast Sonic was, because again, the processing power, the 3D modeling. I mean, it was great. I mean, if you have not played a Dreamcast, I'm telling you, I'm super passionate about it. I know, but it's something that I feel like it's a myth or not. Fantastic system.
Hey, here's a quick shout out. Dynamite Tiger is our new member. Dynamite Tiger.
Dynamite Tiger, welcome to the Summit Squad. Thank you for being a member. And thank you, Iowa Retro Gamer, for gifting that. But so Dreamcast, I think Toops had that. Justin Toops Spewitt, whatever, in our chat had that. And I remember, I think, playing a Sonic game at his house on it. But that's literally the only thing I think I ever did on a Dreamcast. It was like, I know my favorite system has a really weird controller, but like this one had that like little weird TV screen kind of thing in the controller too.
Yep. It was the memory card, right? So it was a VMU, so the visual memory unit. And the cool thing about it is it had, mini games that you can do as well. So Sonic, the games where you can like, I don't know, you could save the little animals.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually upload those into your VMU, take it out. It was battery powered, and it was almost like a Tamagotchi type.
Wow.
I'm telling you, very innovative, ahead of its time. We were not ready for the technology that the Dreamcast brought in. One of the first online gaming consoles, 56K modem right out of the box.
Wow. There you go.
Capcom game.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. It was
that's one of the ones in video games that I want to do, but Andy was like, kind of knocked it back in the day. I would love to do best companies of video games.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
there are some banger companies out there. This looks
Power
fantastic.
Stone.
Go ahead, Bryce.
Power Stone 2. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Power Stone 2 is, from what I've seen and played and like looked at people playing, it looks like a very fun fighting game. And a very fun party fighting game. I think Smash Bros was inspired by it, in my opinion. But
you're actually very good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that and link those two together. But it had very much Smash Bros vibes.
Yeah.
It really looks cool so far. But yeah, I just am not a Dreamcast guy. I just never had access to it. I would love to. I wish I did. Drew in the house says I played Power Stone 1 and 2 back in the day. Poetically Christian says the Dreamcast was awesome. Up here he also said he had one. I was playing Sega Saturn yesterday. Dreamcast was so expensive. What does it say? Dreamcast was the simplest modded console I own. A Dreamcast. I'll play it tomorrow for you live, Kurt. All right, let's do it. And I'll have to go hit the notify on that one. Power Stone 2 is on the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 that just came out. You will see where Smash Brothers came from. And Chris Condon Reed has some for sale.
Juan is the hype man. Juan is the hype man. Huh?
He really is. He is. I got to get this guy's PayPal. I have to figure out how to pay this guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I guess it's my turn. So I'm going with. Okay, so this game is, Andy. You're not going to be shocked on either one of my games. You might be shocked at what I didn't pick today, more so than what I did pick today. For my next two. But as a kid, there is nothing better, and I have right there quite a few of some old school ones. That there's nothing better than a power guide, right? A strat guide, Nintendo Power magazine. When I was a kid, that was a huge part of my childhood. I remember being one of the first kids on the block, at least, that Nintendo Power actually showed up at my house. I remember having the first issue to me. I wish I still had all those. That was one of the things that my mom just kind of tossed, which, we all talk about that if you're from the 80s, 90s, what you wish you still had. I do remember that first one, though, was a complete disarray. Mario 2 on the cover. But I digress. One of my favorite games of all time, I actually made my own strategy guide. And Andy, that should probably give it away.
I already wrote it down.
I it's right here. And it's all folded up nice and neat. In behind with its poster, I'm going with Secret of Mana or Mana. As my next. This is my Super Nintendo choice today. So many cool memories of playing this game, sitting there with this paper and trying to figure out what every enemy, so I have wrote down here, every boss that you beat, what orb it gave you and how to build it to its next. Let's see if I can get that focused in there. My old childhood handwriting as a kid. But it's just pages after pages. I love this game. Oh, Retro Cannon is in the house. But Secret of Mana, I remember playing the Dookie Green Day CD to this game on repeat. This is the time frame that me and Kevin were kind of hanging out. I played this a lot. I remember going to his house, playing it. I remember him being at my house and all those things. It was just a great, great game. And it's going to be my link. And it was a softball pitch. I could have done a link game, but I had to go this one. Super Nintendo, and it's on my. If we do Super Nintendo, if it's not my George, it is pretty high up there to be there. But as far as nostalgia goes, I played that several hours and hours and hours. Allison, Mr. P, I am from Arcado. Is this Allison or are you on somebody else's? But welcome.
Yeah. I need to go here. Yeah, just you showing me that handwritten list, I know I don't want to play this game. Like that was just, if that is what it entailed, and I had to think through all this stuff and write down strategies and write lists, I'm gone. Bye. I'm not doing it. I want to button smash and I want to beat up stuff and I want to play Booger Man and have fun. You know, that's
so Allison, I know Allison, and I know who you are in Peer Leaders. Absolutely. I just wasn't sure if this was Allison or not. Sometimes some of the people that show up are under another pseudonym. But welcome to the show, Allison. I hope your summer's great, and hope you're excited for 6th grade. So, yeah, you don't like strat guides, huh?
No, that sounds horrible. The only thing I would do in any kind of like gaming magazines, now this is before Jesus, before I knew Jesus, I would go to Books A Million and I would rip out like video game posters and hang them on my wall and stuff.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at this poster. Man, it is the original one of mine, and it is in bad shape. I was kind of playing with it while I was waiting, but yeah, it's kind of. But the map and the poster, yeah. Pretty cool stuff, man.
What do you guys think about this game that I would never play?
Well, I didn't have. Oh, go ahead, Bryce. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
Okay. Well, I'll be short and sweet about it. I mean, I didn't own a SNES. I already mentioned that. I went from NES to Genesis. However, I did have a friend that did. If I'm remembering the game correctly, this one also had co-op, right? The one where you can kind of drop it. Yeah. So I do remember playing it, and having a turn-based kind of game with co-op. I thought it was pretty cool. And again, RPG. I like it. But
so this one is JRPG kind of real time. It's like all three kind of run around, and if you join in a second person, you can kind of control the two people that followed you. And make it kind of a multiplayer. But if you didn't do 2-player, the other two were kind of AI'd, and you could switch between and control which one you want.
Okay, yeah. I remember a friend of mine having that, and it was one where it was I joined in as a player, and we did play it. So hey, all there.
Yeah.
I was going to say this is before my time, so I haven't played it. So I've never had a Super NES or Nintendo. Yeah.
Let's see. What year is this thing?
91.
Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Printed in Japan is what it says.
Secret Man 1993.
93.
Yeah, so I haven't played it.
So I was 14.
I was 4.
14.
I wasn't even 4 yet. I when it released, I would be 4 in 5 days. So I was 3.
Speaking of before it released, my birthday's coming up soon, so that's
happy birthday to you. Bryce's birthday is this Sunday. Everybody, in order to celebrate Bryce's birthday, he would like for you to go to church.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's what he said he's doing.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, Andy and I's birthday is in August, so we'll both be celebrating next month.
Yeah.
So feels old. Yeah. You have this on your list for me, Andy?
That you took a Benjamin from me. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I said you had this on your list for me.
Oh, yeah. I knew this was going to be something that got mentioned for sure. You've talked about this game plenty of times. Ad nauseum.
All right. Well, what's your next one?
My next one, speaking of ad nauseum, if you've ever watched the show, you absolutely know that I am here. Maybe surprised that it's not my George. Very well could be. Sheer volume of what I played of this game. I knew every secret to this. I knew every shortcut that you can do in this game. I will still stand by it as one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. It's one of the greatest series of video games of all time. And I'm going for the Super Nintendo pick today, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
This is my favorite video game character of all time is DK. I remember going to the book fair. This is funny. And buying a How to Draw Donkey Kong Characters book. I wanted that. I wanted everything about Donkey Kong. I love this game so much. I knew where the secret barrels were. I knew that when I just recently, one of the last cons, bought a Super Nintendo from our good friend David Finn. This was the game I had to get. I have two other ones that are here too that maybe I'll mention later in Benjamin's. But this right here, Donkey Kong Country, is the perfect game in my opinion. I love this game so much. I don't even know how much I played this game. I can't. I would be embarrassed to tell you how many hours I spent on this one. But the whole lineup. I mean, DK Country 2, 3, all of those are fantastic games. I love platformers. That's probably my favorite of the style, the genre of games. But this just everything about this game is nostalgia. Like I said, the music, the gameplay, the underwater level, it might be one of the best underwater levels. That'd be a fun Rushmore. I mean, we'd have to think about making, especially the Benjamins, how we would formulate that list. But dude, Donkey Kong Country.
So I know we've talked about this, but wait, first off, because I don't know how long they'll be here. My guess is Allison messaged a few friends, Paris and Summer. So anyways, guys, I'm a elementary teacher, and my son, who was just here, is also in that same school.
He's
so
not.
It does get around quite a bit that I have a YouTube channel, and so some of the kids find out and they come and hang out. So one of the reasons we don't like the trolls is because I we're a family channel, and so Paris and Summer and France and Winter and Spring. I'm just kidding. And Allison. Welcome to the show, and we love having you, and I hope your summer has been great. But Donkey Kong, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, Andy. I don't know why it happened or didn't happen, but the Donkey Kong Country, all the Donkey Kongs, honestly, except for like Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, from the original Donkey Kong Jr., and then there was like a gap, and then like Mario Kart and the entry to that, all those ones in between, for whatever reason, I didn't get them. And I played them. I actually have played a lot of those on this little system, trying to get them down. They're fun games, but I'm not very good because I just don't have any nostalgia for them. But these are your favorites. You talk about them a lot.
I love the music. All right, what do you guys think about Donkey Kong?
Loves it. David loves it. Drew loves it.
Okay, so Drew, just real quick, I don't mind the redesign at all. I think people are freaking out over nothing. He looks different. Mario looks different from the original. I mean, they have to move. Zelda or Link looks different in every single game that he's ever been in. I mean, like, let's chill. We've talked about it on this show. We are fans of things, but one of the most annoying things about any fandom is fandom. And the people who like freak out because, oh no, he looks different. Donkey Kong's been around forever. He can look different. I look different. I shaved my beard off, right? So anyway, I digress. What do you guys think about
more expressive?
What do you guys think
he
about
looks
that?
more expressive in Bonanza. So
Yeah, I think it's cool. What about this game though? You guys play Country?
Yeah, I think Country's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've played it, didn't own it, but I think it's funny. We're talking nostalgia, and one thing that I know about, or I guess about Donkey Kong Country now, you talk about the water level. I feel like that underwater ambiance is like the background for every nostalgia video that you see on social media. And so when you mention that, I'm like, wow, there it is.
Was using it for their latest video on Instagram.
Yeah,
that sound, I almost am like, stop, please.
I will pause on every one of those videos and I'm just hooked
I mean, it gets you in the feels. Like there is like there's one with like old malls or something that no longer exists. And you see like the different thing, and that music's playing. I mean, it at least to me, like it gets you. But yeah, I get it. It gets old after a while, and there's different versions of it, right? There's a faster version, but yeah, that's the one thing I know is you mentioned, nostalgia. There it is, the song itself. Every nostalgia video that I see.
Yeah. So Retro Cannon, if you go to his channel, he plays. And honestly, we got away from it. We need to get back into it. He plays old games for the very first time, and we played all the original Donkey Kongs, and we played a little bit of country in his one of his original videos. And it's not an easy game. It isn't. I mean, and maybe because I hadn't played it a lot, but watching him play it, he really had a struggle with a lot of some of the, especially like the swimming portions and stuff. It was not, he trying to figure that out, but cool game. All right, so we're to the George. Bryce, what's the best? Do I have to hit the Rushmore again? Hold on, let me get that.
Yes.
What is the best nostalgic video game of all time?
Pokemon Yellow.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Pokemon Yellow. Tell us about it.
I was going to say Pokemon Blue, but I decided to crush more and say Pokemon Yellow. I mean, Pokemon Yellow, just listen, it's just, as a kid, you play Pokemon and you're hooked. It's literally the adorable monsters, the fun mechanics, that it's like baby's first role-playing game. It literally is so much fun, dude. Like it's literally gets you into role-playing games and other games and video games. It's everyone's like, everyone knows what Pokemon is. So obviously a lot of people have played Pokemon as a kid, and I played Pokemon Yellow as a kid. It's so much fun. So many monsters to catch, Pokemon to catch, and 3 starters to choose. So it's just a fun game. I don't know what to say. It's addicting. I don't know.
And it launched a great line of game. Well, not launched because it's not the first one, but it's just a member of one of the greatest lines of games, which includes one of the greatest shoot 'em ups of all time, Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
It's a rail shooter with a camera and apples.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke. But yeah. How would I know Pokemon game would make #1 on the list? Make sure you replace your batteries. There, I was just curious. The moving barrels, you have fire. Oh, it disappeared. Hi, Genesis. Hey, look, Nightbot said hello to Genesis. Genesis, some of your friends were just in here. Well, I don't know if you're friends with them, but other kids from Arcado were just here. Genesis is always here. Hope your summer's great, Genesis. All right, Pokemon Yellow. We talked about it a lot. And so, Kris, what is your George, your #1?
All right, so it's a game that I loved, obviously, back when I was a child. It's a game that I still play to this very day. Thought I was very good at it. Played the tournament recently and realized that I was not as good as I thought. But we're going to go Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I am.
I love this pick. I know Kirk does. And but what do you love about Tecmo? Tell us about it.
So I mean, it's simple football, right? I mean, look, I'm a fan of games today. You've got Madden, but to me, this just it was just, as a kid, I thought I was playing an actual football game, especially Super Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl. It was the first license, right? The original one wasn't, so you were able to play with your favorite players back then. And again, just a very fun, simple game. And like I said, I feel like it holds the test of time, because I could sit down and play a game, play against my nephew, try to beat him up a little bit with it, and it's still fun.
Yeah, I love this.
I am absolutely crushed. I am crushed. Let me tell you why. Originally, I was going to go Nintendo games, and this would have been on my mountain. So this was going to be my first Benjamin. But here it is. Tecmo Super Bowl, my copy, my name on it, right? right there. And as a kid, this game is the game that made me a Chiefs fan.
This is what the one thing I hate about this game.
This is the one thing Andy hates about this. This is why I'm a Chiefs fan. So back in the day, the GOAT, right? Bo Jackson,
Yep.
the Raiders, and you could play a couple other guys. Lawrence Taylor was awesome. Roger Craig was awesome. Even the Saints with Dalton Hilliard and Hayward. The Bills with Thurman Thomas. But in the division of Bo Jackson, that you got to play him twice, the best team was the Chiefs. They had Christian Okoye and Barry Word, and I played the heck out of the Raiders, and I would lose. I mean, I'm talking what year did this come out? 91. So I'm like a 12, 13. I would always lose with the Raiders to the Chiefs. And I went and asked my dad one day, Dad, are the Chiefs any good? And he's like, no, they suck, son. And I'm like, well, they can't be worse than the Saints because we were Saints fans.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to start playing with the Chiefs. So I started playing with the Chiefs. I go undefeated, beat the Raiders, and I became a Chiefs fan. I walked up to my dad and said, I'm not a Saints fan anymore. I'm a Chiefs fan. In 1992, 91, and Derek Thomas, Neil Smith, Christian Okoye, Barry Word, Stephon Page, Steve DeBerg, you name it, Dan Saliamua up the middle, Percy Snow coming out the back. I love this game so much, and it will 100% be on my sleepover video. And that's another reason I didn't have it. So this game is so fun. I played it ad nauseum. Dude, I did so much. I'm kind of upset you took it because it's not my Georgia Nintendo games, but it was worth the talk if I didn't change my criteria.
And I'm a little upset you left out my team. So still to this day, Warren Moon to Haywood Jeffries is a combination that you cannot beat. I didn't know who Haywood Jeffries was, but I could tell you in that game, he was leading the receivers at every step.
Randall Cunningham. Yep. Hey, so there was a play, and it's still my favorite play of the day. I will go and I'll do it, and I'll put one play in, and it is a play where there's two that go out completely to the end, and then there's two that go 5 and up.
Mm-hmm.
There's the 4 receivers going out, and this guy, Stephon Page, is open 90% of the time for a 100-yard touchdown. Yeah, almost every time. Like
There was so we hosted a tournament at Retropalooza in Houston. Somebody mentioned that there's still an online following, and again, I thought I was great. Again, beating up on my nephew and things like that. So I was like, oh yeah, this is great. There was somebody who, I kid you not, had a 3-ring binder. It was probably about that thick. Handwritten loose leaf paper, kind of like your strategy guide there, Kirk. It had every single team, every single play, and what individual players were programmed to do in that play, and he just knew it frontwards and back. When he whipped that binder out, I said, nope, I'm out. I'm out. Naturally, he won, but that's just a whole other level. I mean, I'm looking through this and just in awe at the amount of time he put into studying this.
A Tecmo Super Bowl. I always say that too. Super Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
Tecmo Super Bowl.
Tecmo Super Bowl.
You played an attorney. That's awesome. Have you played? And some guy named Girl Dad mentioned it. Have you played Retro Bowl on your phone yet?
So no, my little boy has. I think my wife mentioned that he was excited that I made this pick, but he plays it.
Retro Bowl is very reminiscent.
It's addicting. It's fun. You get to you kind of go on a. If you've ever played NCAA, where you kind of like raise the kid up, the kid kind of like goes through his 4 years of school. If you play the college version, it's like that, but the pro version is similar to that. You kind of do a lot more like Madden-ish in the back scenes, but it is Tecmo Super Bowl. Like it looks just like. The problem is it's not licensed, so there's no like it'll be like the city in the South. Aints, right? And
the pro one you do play as those teams.
Oh yeah, it's just college. It's not like
the college one is like South like it's State of Louisiana University.
Yeah, State of Louisiana University striped cats or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
just so you guys know, in Retro Bowl, I'm in year 40 as a head coach right now. I'm currently coaching the Buffalo Bills. So,
well, I didn't mean to pick that up, but look, I wanted you to, because I knew what you had to tell him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You asked him if he was a Broncos
Broncos guy. Okay. All right.
because they're all the Saints now, right? I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You took all of our scrubs, even our old head coach, who was no good. But anyway.
All right. So, man, I'm mad. I'm mad that one's gone. My first Benjamin gone today. Man, that's okay. I got a whole stack.
All right. What is your Jorge? Bryce, have you played Super? Oh my gosh, I almost did too. Tecmo Super Bowl.
I have not, but I do have a question. And is this for people for like people like Kirk and Kris and maybe Andy? Is this like popular amongst like all people playing Nintendo and Super Nintendo? Is this like popular sports game?
Oh, this is like
it is the sports game, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's only one other.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, regular Tecmo Bowl, yes, and then there's. So that's the football side of things. But there's one other sports game that I would put next to it. One. Even close. And I'm going to talk about that one in a second.
Okay. That's cool.
It's Mutant League Football, right?
Mutant League Football. It's going to have to wait till my Benjamins, though, because I'm on my George, and PCG called it. He said, you're either going to pick Final Fantasy or I should have put this one at number 2 because it's Link, but I mean, here it is, man. My original copy. There's the strat guide, the original Zelda. I watched my name on it. Good job, PCG, calling it. But this, dude, I love the Zelda franchise. Like, it's so good. I don't care what version it is. I can find a love of them. I enjoyed playing the remaster of Link's Awakening, which I have the original on Game Boy down there. I haven't played the new one, the Wisdom game yet, but playing Tears of the Kingdom right now, Breath of the Wild. Those some people like them, some people love them. I enjoy the heck out of them because they're way open world. This is one of the first open world games ever. I was watching today somebody play this game for the very first time. And it was a guy and his like girlfriend or wife. I don't know what she was, but he's like, oh, she's never played this game, so she's going to play for the first time. And hours in, she hadn't even made it to the second dungeon. And I remember playing this game. And Andy, I talked about this on the show before. When I finally beat this game for the very first time, I literally had nightmares. Like nightmares. I remember playing Ganon and beating him for the first time, and it like just being so elated, so finally did it, probably like 2 years down the road, because I mean, I could probably go beat this game in, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours now, just playing straight without any of the, because you kind of know where to go and what to do. But back then, it was so open world, and unless you use this to a T, or something like this, figuring out these clues and everything that was going on was not, the internet wasn't there. You just had to kind of go around, right? And I remember beating it. I've beaten it without a sword. I've beaten it without getting certain items. I've tried to, all different ways, to try to beat it with only the not getting any extra heart containers. I remember playing this game over and over and over and over again. It's why I love video games so much, and it's my favorite type of game. So, open world, adventure. I'm going with the original Zelda that kicked it all off, the gold copy. Let's go. Speaking of strat guides, which is funny, if you open this strat guide, some of y'all have never seen this strat guide, but this is one of the originals from like Nintendo Power and stuff. They had a Mario one too. You go to the back, it has like the enemies listed, or no, it's not the back, it's the front. Several of the names have changed now. So if you look at the new names, like they spelled them different. And it's kind of funny because this was like the Japanese conversion. And seeing kind of like, I was just looking at it just a minute ago. I was like, oh, wow. I forgot that they were called these things or mentioned differently. But seeing a lot of these characters in like Breath of the Wild and stuff is really cool. So going Link. Not Link.
George.
I'm going with Zelda.
Link is your George.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, this is a great game. Iconic cart too, the gold cart. Iconic music.
Oh, people are saying hello to Retro Card. Is he here?
Yeah, Retro Card hopped in.
Hey, Keith's going to be on in a little while. Screech. Retro Cart will be on with the whole Warp Pipe family coming up down the road.
Retro Cart,
yeah.
real quick. We did post a because it was Canada Day the other day. So I want to know from some Canadians what are their thoughts on the top 4 Canadian musicians that I put out there. So anyway, we'll just throw that out there. Yeah, this is a great pick. Legend of Zelda. We love it. Oh, Canada.
Blame Canada.
We'll blame Canada. Who knows? Bryce, what you think about Legend of Zelda?
So funny enough, I have not played it, but I know
No.
that Legend of Zelda is I know, but
It's
Legend
an old
of
game.
Zelda is a.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Well, he played Tetris is on his list.
Right.
I mean,
on the Game Boy, not the NES.
Okay.
But I was going to say that I have played a little, like not as a kid, but I played a little bit of the original, and I just couldn't get into it, to be honest. I understand the hype and I understand why it's good, but it was confusing. Like I can get into the Breath of the Wild and even Skyward Sword, Tears Kingdom, but for the original, I couldn't play it that well. So,
what about the like newer, in the Zelda franchise? I mean, like
that's what I said. The Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, I can get into, yeah, but the original, I just don't understand.
Yeah, the original is hard. It is really hard because during the time, like for instance, there's like a forest that you're supposed to get lost in, and you can try and guess your way through it, but you won't find out unless you go all the way down to the bottom and pay some lady to tell you how to do it. And some people would just never get down there to the bottom for months back in the day. And remember, this is one of the first games that had a save state in it.
Yeah.
It had battery. That's another big deal back then. So some people didn't do it, and there's also a couple cheat hints in here that we might talk about in a few weeks, Andy. So, anyways, Kris.
Great game.
There it goes.
Oh, great! Great game. Like Andy said, actually, the cart is actually recognizable. Yours is actually in really good condition, I must say. So, as somebody that's seen a lot of gold carts come in, I've seen some that look like you hold them and like your fingers are gold because the paint's coming up. Yeah, that's a beautiful cart. Like it.
It's got a little black on the back. But
yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I actually the one that I have in my collection is the gray cart variant of it. But again, great game. Not my favorite in the franchise. Actually, I had one, or I was debating putting one on my list, but
I will say
not
this:
that one.
it is not my favorite Zelda, but it is by far the most nostalgic and the most pivotal for why I love Zelda.
And that's fair. And so the one that I really liked, I don't know if it's the most popular one or not, but it's just one that I remember, putting a lot of hours into, and that's Wind Waker on GameCube. The cell shaded, the look, it's my favorite of the entire franchise. But not to take anything away from the OG.
Wind Waker is so fun. The art's awesome. I love that game. Yeah.
Hey, PCG, appreciate you hopping in here, man. I know I just ribbed you for the Broncos stuff. It's all love.
Hey, still praying for you, man. And it was a fun time having you chase down Dark Khan with Raiden the other day. Thanks for doing that. He was playing Mortal Kombat versus DC or whatever.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun watching him play. All right, man. So Andy, finish off this show.
Well, it's no surprise that if I was going by order of my favorite systems, I did the Sega Genesis. Again, from childhood, I did Sega Genesis. I moved up to the Game Boy with Pokemon Yellow. I went to the SNES, but we got to go N64. My favorite game from my childhood, based on the fact that I played the death out of this thing. I mean, I played this thing like crazy. Just actually this past week played it with our youth students. I brought my N64 up to youth just to kind of school some kids on some old stuff. Welcome to Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64. Goodness gracious. This game had a stranglehold on my life. Dude, Playing this game, I think Bryce said it earlier. One of the factors of the N64 that made it so great was the multiplayer side of it, right? We talked about it in GoldenEye, like the multiplayer side, having the 4 controllers connected, just meant for amazing times. So not only did you get to race against the computer, but you can bring your friends in, race against them, the 4-way split screen, then the multiplayer where you got the balloons that they were, the 3 balloons, you had to give them 3 shots or whatever. Super crazy fun. This game is, again, I think now, again, Mario Kart has continued and there's just craziness that happens with it now, and it's amazing and all that stuff. I love the N64 version. It's my favorite one of them. You can say Double Dash and all these, those are great. They're great. They're great. But nostalgia takes the 64 version to the top for me. Rainbow Road, Frosty Turnpike, Toad's Turnpike. You've got all of these amazing levels. Banshee Boardwalk is it gives you a lot of anxiety. Bowser's Castle, all of these things. I love this game so much. The music in this game, the sounds in this game, the multiplayer side of everything. Absolutely love Mario Kart 64. It's my favorite game when it comes to that. I think it's always been my favorite 64 game. I struggled. There was another one that I wanted to put in here, but I was only picking one from the 64 in my top 4. So I'm going Mario Kart 64. Fun craziness of a game. Love it. Mario Kart 60.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear that other one soon, unless it's already been mentioned. And you got me here. You got me. I was like, yeah, he's going to do a 64 game. I didn't think you were going to start with GoldenEye because
there's Chaco Mountain right behind you. Nice, good pull.
Yeah, because we talked about it, but I thought potentially there.
Hey, real quick, because I know we're pushing time and we got to get to Benjamin's, but we already said Street Fighter characters. Where would be your go-to now for 64 version? Remember, there's only 8 to choose between. If you remember which ones are in that, I'm always, I don't even care what version of Mario Kart I'm in.
You're always picking Donkey Kong.
No, not at all. And I love Donkey Kong. I'm picking Yoshi 100% of the time. Yoshi. If somebody else takes Yoshi and for whatever reason they get to him before me, I'm going Toad, but it's always Yoshi. It's always Yoshi.
I'm right there with you on Yoshi.
Yoshi's fast.
Yoshi, yeah.
Man, he's fast.
Yeah,
Now DK and Bowser are going to get you like the strength. If you run into somebody, you can spin them out. I like that, but I want the speed.
I was always a Luigi guy.
He's good. Luigi's fun.
I always liked the idea of picking the big bad mean Bowser because you don't get to do it very often.
Yeah, I love.
So I do like Luigi though. Whenever I played 2-player with friends, I always have the second controller because I wanted to be Luigi, that kind of thing. But yeah, all right, man. So Mario Kart, you guys, 64.
It's I'll agree. It's one of my favorites in the franchise. But maybe a little bit controversial here. But when it came to 64 racing game, I was a Diddy Kong racing guy.
I love Diddy Kong racing.
I went to that one more than Mario Kart. Again, great game, but Diddy Kong racing was my jam.
I can see that. It is a really good game. I have that one too, so it's a good one.
Well,
a lot of people like Diddy Kong racing, but I like Mario Kart 64. I think that's a good one. Yeah.
Speaking of Diddy Kong and Diddy, let's get to our.
We might be okay with the song now. Only 2 of 5. He was
yeah, only 2 of 5. Let's get to our. Let's get to our Benjamin. All right, guys, if you've been around long enough, you know the game. This is it. So we can't mention anything we've already mentioned, so I can't say Super Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Super Bowl. Dang it, I did it again. So I can't say Tecmo Super Bowl and GoldenEye, and I can't say Mario Kart 64. Those are all gone. Here's the draft order. It is Bryce, Kris, me, Andy. But in the second round, it's Andy, me, Kris, Bryce. And then Bryce, you go back-to-back from the second and third round. Comes back, and then Andy's got 2 back-to-backs. So, Bryce, you're going to have the first pick and the last pick. It does a snake draft like you're doing fantasy football. We cannot pick a game that is picked. So, Bryce, if you know something that we might want.
Bryce is only Crushmore today. That's all he's done today. So no more Crushmores.
You can't Rushmore anymore. So you've got to pick originals. Go. Bryce, you're up first. Oh, by the way, Benjamin Franklin was considered to be the 5th guy on the mountain. So that's why we say he just missed the mountain. And so we call him honorable mentions. So who are your Benjamin Franklins today? Give me your first honorable mention.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Okay.
Ooh, Galaxy. That's not my childhood, so that is way past me. I know this game is really awesome. Actually, this is one of the ones in the Mario franchise I've never played. But I do love watching people play it. I have a guy, his name is Renaissance. He plays it all the time on his channel, and I watch him all the time. Ren. That's a shout out to Ren. Garfin Bopper came from him. So what?
Yeah, I was 18 when this came out, so this is disqualified from my list. But yeah, good.
So, we're at 30 like height. Oh, let's get that thing to 35. All right. So, Kris, what Mission Mountain?
All right, I'm gonna go Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice,
fantastic. Yeah,
we may talk about this coming up. Because we're talking about top 4 Sith of all time, and there is a special Sith hanging out in that video game.
Absolutely.
That's a great pick. Great
fantastic.
game.
Yep.
That's a fantastic game. All right, so Andy, you're up.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm up. So knowing my challenge here, there's one game for sure that I want that Andy probably knows that I'm going to say it. The other 2 that he knows he'll never say. So I'm going to go with my first pick, one that could have easily been on the mountain. And Andy, you know it, Mega Man 2.
Yeah, oh yeah. Good pick. I'm going to go to the Super Nintendo. I get back-to-back picks here. Back to Super Nintendo. I believe strong case for the best Mario game in the entire franchise of any Mario game of all time. I'm going Super Mario World. Dude, this game is one of the greatest. The fact that there's a Benjamin here, steal value pick right there. We go Super Mario World. And then I'm going to pick my other one that was my 64 pick potentially. That Mario 64 just edged out. I'm going Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Tooie. I love the whole Banjo-Kazooie series, but Tooie specifically because you could split and be the bird as well. And yeah, so I'm going Banjo-Tooie.
All right, I feel like I'm going to be safe for the rest of my time because you didn't take. All right, so another sports game. This one may be on a lot of, but there he is, man. Iron Mike. There is Mike Tyson's Punch Out. There's my old copy. You know, it's my old copy when I got the little black, the triangle colored on in there with my name. There it is. But
do you have the letter? Do you have the letter? Huh? The letter? That's like the number 1 question we get. Do you have the letter, the handwritten letter from Mike Tyson?
No, this one's empty. Just all I have is the game. I've never looked. This is which games have the 5 screw? I don't know all those, but anyways, that was a 3 screw. I don't know which ones have 5. So you're up. Yes, Tooie and mini games were fun too. Jamie. Oh, Jamie's back. I wonder.
Yeah, I saw she put Banjo-Tooie on her list way earlier, so I was.
Yeah. All right, so Kris, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go with another Dreamcast title. I'm gonna go Shenmue for Dreamcast, which again, action adventure, kind of as an open world. You know, you got to solve your the crime. Your father, was killed, and so you spend the whole game trying to basically solve that crime. You get to drive a forklift as a mini game. Fantastic game, again ahead of its time.
Okay.
Shenmue, again another Dreamcast game that I'm having.
Another Dreamcast game. Yep.
So I'm going to go to that while you guys pick.
All right, Bryce, you get back-to-back picks now, man.
Okay. Mario 64 and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Oh my gosh! Wait, what a back-to-back there. So you said Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time. I mean, just bangers, right?
So those are the two
Yeah.
I thought you were going to pick, Andy. Is one
No,
of
and
those.
they're great. I couldn't make this a whole just N64 list. I've already.
No, I thought that you were going to pick one of those instead of Mario Kart. I in my mind. And then when you said Mario Kart, I went, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so you're back up, Kris.
All right, so I said I was an RPG person, and I don't think I've said an RPG to date or at this time, but I'm gonna go and give our MMOs some love, and I'm gonna go Final Fantasy 11. So the first online version for Final Fantasy MMO, countless hours between the PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, still play it today on PC. Love the game.
Nice.
Well, you scared me, and I lost the game. Because as far as childhood goes, there it is. As noted.
Is this one? I can't tell.
Final Fantasy, it was the first fantasy of the finals.
Well, it wasn't the final one. There's been 12,000.
Right. Well, they thought it was the final one. If you know the story, the company was going downhill, and they made this game as just a Hail Mary, and it relaunched. Square and Enix ended up joining them later, but Final Fantasy, hours. I've beaten that game more than probably any game, at least RPG game ever. So yeah, the first of the finals. You just beat Mr. Sandman and Punch Out fighting Super. Dude, I cannot. I still this Super Macho Man gives me fits. That tornado thing, wow. Dude, gives me fits, fat boy. So, all right, Andy, you get back to back.
All right. Anytime we talk about video games from our childhood, I have to throw this one out there. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Rocket Knight Adventures for the Sega Genesis. Super crazy fun game. I love Rocket Knight. And then going back to the Super Nintendo, I love Street Fighter. I love the Mortal Kombats. I love all that. But one of the fighting games that I played the most of as a kid was Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown was crazy fun.
Arcade version was so awesome.
I want to get this in a list because I love Samurai Showdown so much.
Hey, look who's here. It's me. It's a Timmy.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
Farhan, we miss you, man. You haven't been around since it's been summertime. All right. So is it my turn now? Did you pick both of yours?
I did. I said Rocket Knight Adventures and Samurai Showdown.
All right. So here it is. Let me scroll up just a hair. The other best sports game of all time, right there. Baseball stars. Hey, look, I'm hearing a little something in there. But there it is. Focus that baby in. This game was the very first game that I can remember where you didn't just play the sport. Like you raised the team and you grew it. And I remember I'm not going to give it away. If you want to know what I remember, come watch the cheat codes next week, right? Cheat codes are next week, right? Is it next week?
Yeah.
Next week, cheat codes, and you'll know what I would say on this one. But that's my whole list, man. Baseball Stars. Baseball Stars 2 was such a disappointment, by the way. But yeah, love this game, David. You called it. On a sports list, it's my number one. Dude, it's definitely my favorite game. There's so many hacks. David, this is not the hack I'm going to say, but David, do you know how to steal bases? Do you know how to steal bases without stealing bases? You remember that? Did you do that as a kid? See if he knows.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Kris, get your last pick tonight. What you got?
All right, so this is a game that again, hours and hours. My brother and I would play this together. Actually, when I was putting together my list, I forgot about it, remembered it, and then just recently repurchased a copy of it just to remember the nostalgia days. But this is Critical Depth for PlayStation. Anybody ever heard of that one?
Critical Death?
Critical Depth, DEPT. I like that. Think Twisted Metal with submarines. Twisted Metal with submarines. That is the premise of the game. Fantastic game.
I'm looking it up right now. I don't think I played this. But if it's,
see if I have it. Let me see if I have it.
There you go.
Metal, heck yeah.
It's Twisted Metal with submarines. I mean, we got eight or so characters. You've got I think one of the characters is called CIA, and it's got the little manta ray looking ship.
I've never
and then
seen
you've got
this.
And then you got Lockjaw, who's got the cool looking shark boat. I'm telling you, worth a shot at least.
So I've never played this, but David, I never did, but I built teams based on the Brave squad. So I always built the LSU Tigers with the T, and I always built.
That's a good comment right there. Did y'all have to go to the library and use an encyclopedia to find cheat codes?
Yeah,
that's right.
So you had Nintendo Power. See what right here? Right? What's that say? Blow mine up right here.
Oh.
Now you're playing with Power. The Nintendo Power. That's where they came from. Yeah, that's kind of how they were. But we're not just doing cheat codes. So we're doing cheat codes. We're doing passwords because there's some certain passwords that you can put in. We're also doing like Game Genie codes. We're also doing, there's the up, down, left, right, left, those kind of things. So there's some that were well known. Oh, I did.
They did. Yes.
There was one.
The helpline. Absolutely.
I called the line probably about 3 times. And I remember my mom being like, "Stop calling that thing. You cannot call that ever again." Yeah. No one played NFL Blitz. Hey, Blitz was almost on. I have it for PlayStation. Blitz was a little bit later. Oh, little Timmy wants to know what happened to your beard, Andy.
Well, I shaved it off as a part of a fundraiser. I go on a mission trip to Argentina every November. And because I got to $500, the challenge was I had to shave my beard. So I did that Monday.
So yeah, David, Julius Caesar, right. Hey, so here's the tip, David. When you play that game, if you get your guy in a pickle and you keep going back and forth without getting tagged, the 2 players will get closer and closer and closer and closer, and then he'll overthrow it into the outfield, and it's almost a home run every time. Yeah, that used to do that over and over again as a kid when I was little. That's kind of like the Bo Jackson up and down. That's not going to be one of my cheats, though.
All right, Bryce, you get the last
off,
pick
Bryce,
tonight.
so we can go home.
Last pick tonight, the Mystery Irrelevant. What's the final one you got?
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Nice.
The
Star
OG.
Wars
The OG.
Battlefront 2. I love it. Way to go
That was a
to
great
wrap
one.
up our picks. Kirk, are you pulling that one out?
I think
Going to his library.
Mine's my copy's over here somewhere, but yeah, I have it on PC.
it's over there somewhere.
Nice. Way to
All
go.
right, well, nice pick, Bryce. Dogbird's still hanging around. So, hey, thanks for
Hi,
everybody being
Dogbird.
here. Before we head on out, man, we hit the 2.5 mark today. Thank you to everybody here. Thank you to Bryce. He just got a new computer. Thank you to Chris, who spending time on his vacation. Everybody, go and the other events are already up. Go and hit the notify. Go hit the like. Go do all that. Hit the like to this one. Thanks for being here. Before we head out, Bryce. Well, Bryce, you went first last time. Chris, tell everybody where you're going to be next, how they can follow you, what can they do to maybe purchase some games or whatever you want to chat with them about. And then, Bryce, you're up after him.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got, I think, 3 or 4 shows here in the coming month. We'll be in Thibodaux, Louisiana at Collectors Con, Classic Game Fest in Austin, and then we'll be at Louisiana RetroCon at the beginning of August. You can give us a follow, Yellow Rose Retro HTX. My wife and I, again, we're always on answering the DMs there. So yeah, just look forward to connecting with other people. And again, thank you both, Kirk and Andy, for having me. Bryce, it was fun hanging out with you and meeting you. So I do truly appreciate it.
Thanks for being on the show, man.
Bryce, drop your stuff, man. Share with everybody.
Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be a special guest at Southeast Game Exchange, and then the rest of the couple months I'll just be making content on my channel Bryce JW on YouTube, and sometimes on Instagram Bryce JW YT official, and I'll just be making Geometry Dash or retro gaming content or just high quality videos now that I have a good PC now. So,
woo,
yeah. Hey, so. Here, let me shout out Bryce real quick. He just hit 1,000 on Instagram. Congratulations for hitting that. And he just hit 7,000 subs on his YouTube. It's a great channel. Congratulations, Bryce. He is very open about his disability and his availability to go out and play games in the community. So, Bryce, we love you. You're always welcome here. Thanks for being in our chat. Thanks for being in our family and our community. Congratulations on all that. Go support. If you're still in the chat and you have a channel, by all means, you should be dropping that in there. Matter of fact, somebody try this. ! Squad. Somebody type that in. ! Squad. See if that works. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, we'll have to keep working on old Nightbot. But ! Squad. Let's see if that works. With that being said, what's coming up next is MXS Retro and Arkansas Picker are on next week, and we're going to do cheats, game codes, passwords, and all that. And then we're off the week after because we're in camp, and we're going to go back to back with PNX and Owazarum. We are doing Nostalgia Triggers. And we are going to have the next show will be some of the guys were in the chat earlier, Nathan and Cellcast. Those guys are going to be on the show, and we're going to do Henshin Heroes. So stay around with us, hang out all June and July. Sorry, July and August. We will be doing Nostalgia. All right, Andy, it is well past all of our bedtime. We got to get this guy back on a roller coaster. Let's tell everybody good night.
All right. Well, look, Kris and Bryce, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Great to hang out with you guys. But let's say good night like we always do. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4
and nothing more.
And nothing more.
Peace.